And welcome in there, ladies and gentlemen, Jims and Jimettes, to episode number 119 of the Degenerates Podcast. You got another back-to-back week where you can see our nice, shiny, glimmering faces. You gotta love that. But you're on the audio only, doesn't matter. Thanks for joining in anyways. I'm one of your co-hosts, half of the podcast, Nick Johnston here. On the other half, I'll introduce Wild Bill. How the hell are you? Most
Not
importantly, how was your drafts this weekend?
not too bad. Only had one draft this weekend. Still got one coming up next week. Absolutely killed it. We'll
There you
talk about
go.
that in a couple minutes. Other than that, fucking Madden season is officially here. Been losing a lot of hours playing that video game. Uh, Preseason football is over. We got the 53-man rosters.
Yes, we
Regular
do.
season's right around the corner. College football's even here. We got a big Saturday
I
night
think
matchup.
all the I'm sorry, all the
Yeah.
official cuts were about an hour ago. So yeah,
Yeah.
everything's like set as of now. Yeah, we got our AFC North breakdown sponsored by Points Bet. Points Bet. Go to SYS9. Go ahead and do that. What else we got? We get some wrestling drama. We got All Out this weekend coming up. I know you're gonna be joining for that with us.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be
I'll be at
fun.
Dynamite as well. I'll be at Rampage. I'm gonna even go to the Fan Fest. Why not? Gonna roll the dice and just have a little fun over there. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I can't wait. This was big. This whole weekend was fantasy draft after fantasy draft after fantasy draft. I had, like I said,
Most wonderful time of the year.
yeah, had one Thursday night for my brother. It looked pretty good, honestly. We went number two, and we took McCaffrey, or excuse me, we took Henry. Yeah. Uh, Let me see. Sunday. Excuse me, Sunday. We had the number four, and we took Eckler, and then Monday we had the number one, and obviously chalk Jonathan Taylor. So
Yeah.
I mean that was the highlight of the weekend. But I mean, yeah, that's all I want to talk about. Fantasy, my team, everything from top to bottom. I mean, we can talk about yours. Similar to you, I mean, I was ranked in the top projection for my basically both my drafts, all three. Well, I think no, third on for my brother's one. He got a B minus for the grade. It happens. I think I may have reached on getting Pat Mahomes a little earlier than I did, but you got to have the hook with Kelsey and Mahomes right there. So I don't know. I mean, we can kind of just show off our teams, however you want to do it. Maybe just highlight some key spots in our drafts or something like that. Maybe some guys that reach, maybe some guys that were surprising, maybe that weren't on the board. Maybe they went in general at all. I don't know. Yeah, I'll throw it your way. You always
Yeah,
had some
let's
good ones.
we could bullshit, talk about our teams a little bit. Like I said, when was it? Sunday night we had our Jaffrey Family League draft, and 10-man league had the 10th overall pick. And these donkeys, that's what I'm gonna call you all, donkeys, somehow let Justin Jefferson fall all the way to the 10 spot. So first
That's
round,
insane.
10th overall pick, snagged Justin Jefferson, and then with the 11th pick, we got Diggs right away. So I think I got two top five receivers easily with my first two picks.
Without a doubt.
Like you said, always got to get that hook. So I did pick up Josh Allen, who's I think the top fantasy quarterback in the league this year. So we got them.
Yeah, a majority of people are probably ranking him one, maybe
Yeah,
interchangeable with, like, I don't know, other mobile quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson and Kyler
yeah.
Murray. Yeah.
Yeah, running back room,
Mahomes.
I'll admit, it could have been better, but I mean, getting two elite wide receivers with your first two picks, you're not going to get, a top tier running back. We got James Conner and Zeke. I'm not a big fan of Zeke, but I did cuff him with Tony Pollard, made sure I got both
Ooh,
of
that's
them.
good. That is a solid
Um,
move.
and then yeah, James Conner, I know he's touchdown dependent. I think he scored like 18 touchdowns last year. Don't expect that out of him. As long as as long as both of these guys finish top 15, top 12 for me, I'll be more than happy because I know Diggs, I know Jefferson, I know Josh Allen are going to fucking cook. I took a risk. I drafted Darren Waller. I know he's had some hamstring injuries and he's in that loaded offense, but if he does stay healthy, he's going to be a top three tight end fantasy wise. Um, and then this 10-man league, we actually run a double flex. It's not a super flex, so you can't have two quarterbacks playing. But in my two flex spots, I got Cortland Sutton, who I've been high on, who both of us we've been high on him. I think just Russell Wilson's going to elevate his game, and then I took a risk on Travis Etienne. So I know there's some reports coming out that saying James Robinson's healthy. He's going to be ready for week 1. They're going to be splitting time. Even if so, I think ETN in a PPR league, he'll catch some balls. He'll be in a third down back. He'll be a decent second flex. So I like the way my 10-man team's looking. We got the 12-man coming up next Wednesday, the day before the season
There you
starts. Go
go.
fucking figure. And I guess that's good because that means,
You'll
if
have a
someone
better
on
read on a guy like Cam
exactly,
Akers and
if
Daryl
someone gets
Henderson,
shot,
who,
let's just say like a running back I draft gets shot, like I'll
yeah,
know I won't have to pick him up. So
don't even get me started on that one.
yeah,
Oh,
I'm happy with my team. We got, let's see, Tony Pollard, Devonta Smith, Naeem Himes, JD McKissick, Rashad Penny on the bench, along with, we had to go and we got 2 Bears. We reached on them. I didn't give a fuck. Cole Kmet and Justin Fields, they're also on the bench too. Hey, breakout seasons for them.
yeah, I mean, a lot of people are saying that
I'll
about
start
Cole
them.
Kmet, and then you always get the mobility with Justin Fields just in case.
Exactly.
Might not have the best season, but
Exactly. And
if you can
a
limit
lot
it,
of people in this league don't realize in this family league, the quarterback scoring is a little higher. So quarterbacks are more important. Fourth round pick. Allen was the first quarterback off the board, and rightfully so. But I don't think some of these guys realize mostly the quarterbacks get 4 points per touchdown pass. In our league, it's 6 points per touchdown
same here.
pass. And I think it's
I
a
think that's
point.
slowly becoming the
Yeah, I
standard.
forgot how many we get increased points for the yardage too.
Okay.
So quarterbacks are very important in this league.
Okay,
So
that's good.
go out
Yeah.
and got Allen, hooked him up with his boy Diggs. I think will be the number 1 quarterback wide receiver duo in terms of fantasy scoring this year. So I'm happy. Let's hear about your team a little bit.
I love that. I'm gonna go with I'm just gonna start from like what I feel is most important, and it's always the belt league. So going fourth overall, like I said, I went Eckler. I passed up on the only guy I felt that would also could have went at that spot was probably Derrick Henry, but we kind of talked about it too, just with the sake of it being PPR and just the reports of Derrick Henry being having a change in his how they're going to be using him in his offense. He's obviously not going to get at like 300, 400 carries or whatever that he got. So he's going to cut that down a little bit, but still going to be good. I think I like Austin Eckler right there. On the turnaround, similar to you, I was able to get Stephon Diggs.
There
Obviously,
you
a
go.
little bit different in an 8-man compared to the 10-man. So I got them like 4 picks earlier or whatever, but I love him right there. That's a solid spot. I usually went away from my usual deal, which was have running back, running back, running back, which is what I do every single year. And then I don't know. I feel like I just get right there and it just doesn't fall through because my running backs, my top guys get fucking hurt every fucking year. So I wanted to try and rely on some top tier receivers. I went ahead and got I got Travis Kelsey on the other end. While he's not a wide receiver, he's still gonna be a top tier receiver
Yeah.
in this
Oh
league.
yeah.
Mike Evans also as well. Uh, just gonna round out the rest of my team. RB2, Josh Jacobs. Little hesitant on him. It's gonna be not like a long shot on him, but we don't know exactly how he's gonna be utilized just yet. I'm feeling optimistic. He did have a pretty solid season, so and I like him to still catch passes as well. Adam Thielen, T. Higgins, same thing with you. We have 2 flexes, so those are in my flex spot as of right now. Harrison Butker, the kicker. I reached on the Colts defense, even with my last 4 or 5 picks in the round, because I was trying to think when can I take DeAndre Hopkins, and I should have taken him when I took the Colts defense. I just panicked and I just went with in my head what was at that time the more reliable defense. So I don't know, definitely fucked up right there. But also it's just the idea of like, do I want DeAndre Hopkins burning a hole in my bench for 6 weeks? So
Yeah.
I don't know. It does work out. I do have Kyler Murray as my quarterback. That's the only guy I didn't make mention to. So there you go. Very late. Also, what took Tom Brady, AJ Dillon, Kareem Hunt, Brandon Ayuk, and Deontay Johnson to round out my bench. And unfortunately, I did take Brian Robinson Jr. probably as he was getting shot. Unfortunately, good news. I
As he
heard
was
he's doing
getting
good.
shot.
I heard he's doing good. I heard he's doing well. The Commanders are actually optimistic that he might play later this year. No timetable on it exactly. Uh, let's just be honest. everyone wanted it to be Aaron Rodgers getting shot. Let's just be right. I mean, that's right then and there. But I mean, prime suspects, you have a good idea of who it might be. I mean, I'll throw it to you maybe as a.
Yeah, I'm thinking sort of like Mitch Trubisky ran over Dwayne Haskins a couple months back.
Oh.
I'm thinking it was an inside job, and I'm looking at now RB3. It looks like on that fucking depth chart, Antonio Gibson. He's had his role reduced. He fumbles more than a fucking I don't know something that fumbles something us talking. I guess fumbles
Yeah.
more than that. He's now their kick returner, I guess, and or punt returner, kick returner, something like that. And I think he knows he's not going to get his starting job back through outworking the receiver. So I'm thinking he might have fucking I don't maybe he didn't do it. I think he might have
He couldn't
staged
have.
it.
He would have fumbled the gun.
I'm thinking he staged it sort of like Sopranos style. They hire the fucking they hire the other fucking dudes. They bring them over from the other side. They say the Italian dudes. They come and they whack that fucking dude outside of his house. I'm thinking he probably did something like that. Probably called up Adam Pac-Man Jones. Was like, hey, I know you're broke. You want to make a couple $100? I'll give you some crack, and had him do the dirty work for him.
Oh, geez. Well, yeah, that's definitely a good idea. But I like I said, I hope he does. I hope he gets better. I'm if you're me, what are you gonna do right now? Because I'm looking at it right now. There's a couple of options that I see, a couple options that are moving. No one's as of right now, as we're recording, no one's made a move in this league except for someone picking up Damian Pierce. So Mike did, but there's some. I mean, I think in my
Good
mind,
call from Mike too. Marlon Mack got cut today, so it
oh
looks like
wow,
Damian Pierce going to be the clear cut number one.
there you go. That's a good move right there. Then, yeah, we still got there's some guys available. I think maybe I'll run some names by you later, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like I said, do I hold on to him or should I just remove him right now? Because this was the guy in my
Yeah,
mind, no matter what, that I could be like got him at the end of the draft, potential number one, sure, or I could just cut him at the end of week one, like I planned. So
yeah, I'd hold on to. I personally would hold him for at least a week or two. I mean,
okay,
I don't think a lot of people are going to be making moves this early in the season anyway. I mean, we still have a whole week and a day before the season starts, and then another fucking 10, 11 days before the season starts on that Sunday. So you got some time. Wait for some medical fucking records. Stefania Bell, she'll be on some podcast. Oh, he's doing good. Wait for her report. And I think he's good enough to hold him for like 2 weeks. So that's what I would do.
yeah,
Now, if let's just say, I don't know, let's say Jim Bob is the number one receiver or the number one fucking flex player on the waiver wire right now, and his fucking backup or his starter Jimmy Bob or whatever the fuck his name is goes down, then I'd immediately grab him. But as long as there's no crazy injuries, I'd hold on to him.
yeah, I think that's the best move. What I would hope, I mean, unfortunately, it would suck for him, but maybe put him on the pup list so I can put him in my reserve spot and I can
Yeah.
pick up someone else for free. But
Yeah, they're probably gonna do that.
I would
Maybe. I don't know what
this. I
how
mean,
long you have to be on
the
that.
good news is just his lower extremities, probably his leg or something like that. I mean, that is running backs. That's how they run. So that it'll be maybe again, maybe a little bit of rehab there here and there, but it's good that he didn't get shot in like his
The
his
face.
stomach, his face. He didn't get
Yeah.
like shot in his colon or something. Or yeah, so yeah, it's very unfortunate for anybody that probably like myself, you saw him at the end of drafts and you just wanted to snag him. So
Yeah.
I went ahead and did, and well, it is
Yeah.
what it is.
I definitely say just with the inconsistent play of Antonio Gibson, hold him for a little bit. That's
Okay, that's
probably a
that's
smart move.
yeah,
At
that's
least I'd give it at least to like the end of week one, like you said. If
yeah,
there's no report on him and someone went off week one and you can snag that dude off the waivers, I'd go grab him. But
yeah. And
as
I
of
just
right
read something
now,
right now. Still no timetable. So as soon as we know, maybe hopefully down the line. But be one of those where I drop them now. I can still pick them up later. Who knows? That's
yeah.
always the
And
fun.
always league commissioners out there listening and watching, always have an IL spot on your team that comes
Yes.
in hell, especially with the last 2 years and all the bullshit with COVID. Like it came in clutch at times, and especially like you draft a guy, you didn't draft him too high, but let's just say a guy like Christian McCaffrey, you draft him, you don't want to fucking release him. You don't want to waste a spot on your bench either. Have that fucking IL spot because injuries are gonna
Yeah.
happen. Big name,
Luckily
small
enough,
name, it don't matter. They're gonna
I
happen.
I recall last year one of my brother's leagues, the one that we won, they had three IR spots. So I mean that came in clutch very much. At
Yeah,
times
that definitely does.
we did have at least two people qualified for the reserve spot, and I'm just like, can't drop them. We need to put them in there. And
Yeah.
sure enough, like I said, having that I mean, three might be overkill for some. It was a 12 man. So I mean, that's
Okay.
still pretty good. So I don't know. Let's see. I don't. I can maybe highlight really quick. Nothing too crazy. My brother's team, like I said, the one that we did go number 2 with Henry, a little light with the wide receivers, but I love the duo of able to get Nick Chubb very very late. I was surprised at how late he went. In 2 out of the 3 drafts that I went into, my one friend kind of not reach, but according to the ADP, he reached. But I feel like he's going to have a fantastic season. Again, getting the hook with Mahomes and Kelsey for that one, and then again relying on Josh Jacobs, but in the flex position that time, not the RB2 spot. So that's a little bit better, I feel. And that one, little kind of not a riskier bench, but I feel like more vet bench. Tyler Lockett, Amari Cooper, and Michael Thomas, I recall on that bench. So there you go. That was that one. Not too bad. I just can't wait. I can't wait for everything to start.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah, I'm excited too. I mean, the one thing that stood out in our draft, and it's a running theme now every single year. My good buddy Mike Sapinski, he pulls some dumb shit and drafts some guy way out of position. Just to put it in context, 2018, 2019, he picked Doug Baldwin in the third round, and he was like fourth on the depth chart. So Mikey's known for this. And he did it again this year. Now he picked Christian Kirk with his sixth round pick. And a lot of people are saying, oh, he's the go-to in that offense, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he's going to have a good year. He's going to catch some balls. He's going to be their number one target. But I'm going to name some of the guys who went after Mikey took Christian Kirk. So we're going to roast and make fun of Mikey a little bit. Rashad Bateman, Chase Claypool, Allen Robinson, Tyler Lockett, Gabe Davis, Juju Smith Schuster, can't talk. Hunter Renfrow, Cortland Sutton, and then the big two, Michael Thomas and Adam Thielen, all went after Mikey took Christian Kirk. Now, exactly like we said last week, sometimes it's better to take a number 2 in a good offense than a number 1 on an offense. And I feel like that's the perfect situation because I'd rather have Thielen. I'd rather have Thomas. I'd rather have Juju. I'd rather have fucking Renfro, Lockett, even Allen Robinson. I'd rather have before Christian Kirk. So shout out Mikey. Pulled another fucking Mikeyism. What was this fucking saying that one day? I don't remember, but that's the way the cookie rumbles. That's Mikey's famous fucking quote. So that was our blunder. I'm sure we'll have another one coming up next Wednesday, and we'll talk about that fucking team whenever I draft it.
Yeah.
I got the first overall pick. I still don't know who I'm gonna pick. I don't know which route I'm gonna go. Am I gonna play it safe? Or am I gonna fucking risk it all?
You gotta
Risk
take
it to get the
Taylor.
biscuit.
You gotta take
I
Taylor.
don't know. I'm not afraid of coming in last. All these other fucking dudes, Brian Sapinski, if you're listening, you still got to do your punishment, bitch. I'm not afraid to come in last place. I'd rather come in second place or last place. It's the same shit to me. There's no second place prize. There's no nothing. I don't know who I'm going to fucking take. I'm going to fucking, I don't know. I'm going to keep watching TikToks. Let them influence me. Just kidding. We'll see. Don't know who. Maybe I'll just take Justin Fields.
Two interesting ones in one of my drafts to happened in different ones. The 10 man I drafted yesterday, at the end of the third and the beginning of the fourth, Josh Allen goes back to back Patrick Mahomes. This guy has Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes on the same team. It's not a super flex. They can only play one.
Get it.
So bad move. I mean, a good move because you got two of the best quarterbacks and you took them away from somebody else, but you burned. I mean, you wanted your fourth round pick was a top bench spot. That was that move. So and
Trade bait,
then
maybe.
yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
Oh, guess what the first defense was to go in that draft? Just
Oh, I thought you. I fucking think you told me. I don't remember what it was.
it was, and they had another back to back in this one because this one defense and then the top defense went right after.
Oh,
Anything? Anything?
I'm thinking top defenses. Well, it probably wasn't a top
It
defense
was
for the way
it
you're
was maybe
talking. Yeah.
it was maybe a mid tier defense at best. Couple of
Was
good
it
names.
Browns?
No, it was the Cowboys.
Cowboys, yeah.
Yeah, the Cowboys. This guy, I mean, he texted and sent that was a mistake, and I sent back to be a wise ass. I said, oh, just hit
That
the undo
sucks.
button. So yeah, that was
That
good.
sucks.
Yeah, definitely that sucks. And then in our fucking belt league, uh, I'll leave him nameless, but you already know who he is. Uh, Eskridge, some the Seattle wide receiver goes in the 12th round, 13th round. He
What?
was the 103rd ranked wide receiver, so for sure not even drafted in
Yeah, he's not
probably
even
most
drafted in
12.
exactly. He's not even drafted in 12-man leagues.
Yeah, so a little bit of blunders right there. Uh, I don't want to tell tales from around school, but I kind of had this idea. We might be starting up a small little recap podcast, really quick, maybe like 30 minutes long between a couple people in that league, and I just want to record it and throw it up on here or something just for the boys to listen to. So that'll be fun. Maybe a little project to work on during the week. So
D. Eskridge, number one. He's a free agent in my league. He is projected 107 points, rostered in 0.7% of leagues. There you go.
exactly.
Great pick.
That
Great
was
pick.
drafted
Great pick.
before I was a it was before Tom Brady, all the defenses, all the kickers, all the horses and all the Kingsmen, honestly. So that is the draft. That is what's coming up. I cannot wait. Cannot emphasize enough how much I cannot wait for
Oh
fucking
yeah.
fantasy season to
Fantasy
start.
football is the best time of the year.
Oh yeah. I already cut a promo last week, but I mean it's the best time. It's great. It's so great. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Get those competitive juices flowing again
Mm-hmm.
after
Oh,
just
there's gonna
the
be a bunch of juices flowing. I can't
after
wait.
after 6 months of fucking having to watch baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Yeah, I
Nah,
know.
football's
Honestly,
back.
yeah, I feel like that's a good way to transition to what may more or less be the last little Cubs Sox update for I mean the
Till
pending
spring
anything.
training.
Yeah, basically pending anything
Until the fucking
crazy.
leadoff next year, 2022 edition.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, this is like I said.
2023.
Yeah, I prepared my last little hoorah of White Sox talk. Basically, anything going forward with these teams, it'll just be like I said, pending like the White Sox going like 25 and 30 or 25 out of their next 30 games or something like that wins. So I mean, I don't know. I prepared something. If you want to go ahead and start off, I think I did last week, but yeah, we can just basically essentially wrap up the season on both the White Sox and the Cubs.
Yeah, yeah. Cubbies sitting at a 55 and 74. They are third in the NL Central, which, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I did predict the Central this year. It looks like the fucking Cardinals are going to win it. Brewers in second, Cubbies in third. There we go. I'll take it. Better than the fucking Reds. I still need the Pirates to lose some games. I need them to come in fucking last, but that might not happen. Uh,
O'Neill Cruz will not let that happen.
that dude's fucking gonna be special, man. That dude's gonna be a fucking freak
Oh
of
yeah.
nature. A 6'9" shortstop who has the hardest hit recorded baseball in Statcast history already in his rookie season. That kid's gonna be fun to watch. Him and Key Brian Hayes.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, going back to last Tuesday, Cubs took 2 out of 4 against the Cardinals, took 1 out of 3 against the Brewers over the weekend, and then lost last night 5-4 in 11 innings up in Toronto. Not a lot of on-field talk, just a couple things I want to point out. Going back to last Tuesday, right after we recorded, Pat Foley, former famous Blackhawks TV announcer, actually called the Cubs game last week, and it was a lifelong dream of his. He's a Chicago guy. He's a Cubs fan. He's always wanted to call a Cubs game. So him and Deshays were up in the box calling the game. I was tuning in and out, and from what I heard, he did pretty good. He was very laid back. He knew the game of baseball. He knew the players, and that's cool because I feel like some guys might go up there not knowing who you're talking about, not knowing this, but he's talking about, the young guys and them playing down in the minors and the young guys that he's excited to see come up next year. And he actually, he knows his stuff. So,
Hey, I mean, those Peacock announcers made it an all-time
yeah.
go. So, I mean, I feel like you and I can call a fucking AA game, and it'll probably be better than the Peacock guys calling an MLB game.
It was cool. Pat Foley up in the booth called a Cubs Cardinals game. Yeah, that was back last Tuesday. That was awesome. He said that was a lifelong dream of his. So that was cool to see last Tuesday. The only other thing I really want to talk about, and I know you had this written down in our notes, is Marcus Stroman had some interesting words to say about a very famous YouTuber.
Your favorite.
Neither you all. I watch some of his videos. Like if he's in Chicago at a Cubs or Sox game, I'll watch the video. Or if like he goes like last year, he went to the this year and last year he went to the Field of Dreams game. So I watched those ones, but no way in hell I could ever watch every single video this dude uploads. But we're talking about Zack Hample, the fucking 40-year-old virgin who travels around to every single baseball stadium every year and just steals foul balls away from 10-year-old kids. So long story short, Zack Hample was at a Colorado Rockies game last year. He's running around like a madman in the outfield trying to snag balls before the game, trying to catch a home run during the game, and security wasn't having any of it. I mean, as harmless as it could be, it's also dangerous at times, especially in like open bleacher seating like it is in Colorado. No one wants to get run over. No one wants to get trampled going for a ball. And I guess he almost ran over some little kid, and security sort of put a squash on him. He came out, made a YouTube video just trying to roast the Colorado Rockies. And, it's a shame. I pay the ticket. I go to the game. I'm passionate about this. And you're the only stadium, blah, blah, blah.
I did listen to the audio. It was a pretty tough look for Zack Hample. He sounded like a total bitch.
He did. He sounded like a fucking dork. And a lot of people took to Twitter, gave their opinions for or against him. But none other than Chicago Cubs' very own fan favorite Marcus Stroman had something very interesting to say.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just read the tweet off real quick. It's truly comical how much of a loser you are. Grown-ass man taking baseballs away from the youth and making videos complaining about security doing their jobs. You're the definition of a clown, LOL, clown face emoji to wrap it up. So I'm totally on board with Stroman. Zack Hample, listen, that must be cool going around. That's how you make a living. Like I'm not gonna knock.
Did you see the replies?
No, I didn't.
I got one.
But...
So Zack Hample goes, "It's truly sad how misinformed you are about me, but here's a challenge / invitation for you. When your career is done, or hell, maybe this October, because the Cubs aren't going to be in the playoffs. I guess he was maybe trying to allude to a diss. Attend a game with me to see what I'm all about. I think you'll be truly stunned. Just need to keep an open mind. You down?" Stroman replies with, "Leaning towards no, but I'll consider it. LOL." And then some other guy replies with his fucking record and his ERA. He's like, "Oh, you having fun in Chicago?" And he actually replied back to that guy and said, "Actually, yeah, me and my family are having a great time with all the city has to offer." So yeah, he might be having a shitty down year. He's still having fun. So that's pretty cool to see that he's like the way that he's interacting. He's not an asswipe. I that's what he's coming.
Yeah, and he's very active on Twitter too. I remember earlier in the year, I think it was the first week and a half of the season, we went to a Cubs Brewers game at Wrigley, and Stroman was supposed to pitch and he got scratched last minute due to a rainout. And our good buddy Tommy Sapinski, who's a Blue Jays fan, he was going to the game expecting Stroman to pitch. He gets cut last second, and he tweeted at him the night before. He's like, "Going to Wrigley, can't wait to see Stroman." And Stroman liked the tweet, and he quote tweeted it with like a heart emoji or something like that. So
that's cool.
He's very active on
That's
Twitter.
awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, fucking Zack Hample, another douchebag move, holding the fucking A Rod's 500th home run ball for ransom. I know he gave, money to charity or anything. Yeah, I guess, I probably would have sold it too. That ball's probably worth $500,000, but whatever. Yeah, just not a good look for Zack Hample. There's a reason, like, I watch his videos sometimes and I can't get through them all because he's so cringy sometimes.
Yeah, I'll when I
Yeah.
do when it comes up on my feed, it's more or less for the same thing. Like my goal again, the white guy in me wants to go to all these stadiums. So when it's stuff like that, or if it's, he was trying to go for special occasions and shit. I think he was chasing some rookie's first home run ball at a certain
Yeah, I
point.
think
So
earlier in the year he was going for Bobby Witt.
yeah, so something
Yeah.
like that. During the COVID time when he went to the extra Toronto Blue Jays stadium just to see something like that. So I just wanted to see how that was going. So he makes okay content. You can't sit there and say that, but yeah, to be a Zack Hample fan, that's a
Yeah,
stretch.
he's
That's
the
a
I mean, if you watch the videos, all the only people that recognize him and go up and ask for autographs and kids are 12-year-old kids. That's it.
yeah,
And
or
I don't want to
or
sit here and yeah, I don't want to sit here and shit on the dude too much because like that's obviously a great living,
yeah, no,
great like that's
absolutely,
dream job. You
yeah.
travel around, you record videos of you at baseball stadiums all day. I would do that too. I probably would handle it a different way. I wouldn't be running over 8-year-olds to get a foul ball at a fucking Royals Thursday night game against
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, like, but whatever.
There
Bad
was
look for
also
him.
I don't know if you also saw. I forgot where he was. There was like that group of teenagers that I think probably sarcastically was like, "Oh my God, it's Zack Hample."
Yeah, they were at a Yankees game. And they
Oh,
were just
okay, there you
Yankees
go.
fans just being jagoffs
Just
and
being
fucking with
fucking
them.
jerk offs, and they're like, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's Zack
Yeah, and
Hample."
he was like,
Yeah,
"Oh my god, they like me." He didn't realize they were fucking with him.
yeah, exactly. Oh shit, yeah, yeah. So exactly, you kind of just from that, you probably just know exactly who he is. But yeah, did you have any more on the Cub
Yeah, one
guys?
other thing on our boy Marcus Stroman. The Cubs returned up to Toronto last night, or I should say Stroman returned up to Toronto where he spent a couple of years. He's a fan favorite wherever he goes. And a young fan was holding up a sign asking for an autograph. He was a Blue Jays fan, had a Stroman Blue Jays jersey on. Excuse me. And Stroman wasn't playing, but he saw the sign, went up to the kid. The kid, started crying, whatever, gave him a big hug, got the ball signed. And then Marcus Stroman actually told the kid and his family he is going to get an all expenses paid trip for that kid and the family to the Cubs Cardinals game in London next year.
Oh shit,
So that'll be fucking cool. We always
damn.
like seeing stuff like that. So nice gesture by Marcus Stroman to a young fan. That's how you grow the game right there.
Yeah,
That's
no,
plain and simple. That's how you grow the game of
yeah,
baseball.
no, that's really really awesome. Yeah. So if you got nothing else, I know how I can go and
No,
transition
that's it.
to yeah
That's
how
it with
you
the
not
Cubbies.
grow the
Fucking
game.
season's almost over.
Yeah.
Better luck next year. We've been saying that for a century now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat
Well,
some pretzels. I'm munching away over here. I haven't eaten all fucking day. So I know you fuckers on YouTube's like, what's this fat fuck eating? I'm eating some pretzels, bitch. Do you
there
like
you
these
go.
pretzels or do you like the straight ones?
I like
I like
those.
these, yeah.
Yeah.
These are
Yeah.
good pretzels. We're gonna do
Yeah.
some ASMR with the Degenerate podcast.
I was doing that earlier, honestly, just rubbing my facial hair on the microphone. Full
Oh,
disclosure, it sounded a little
I
nice.
don't have facial hair. Can't do that.
There you go. That's for the very close listeners. All righty. Like I said, how to not grow the game, and that's to watch the White Sox. All righty. Well, like I said, I'll get into my little spiel. If you didn't already believe me after that 21-5 ass whooping, like I said a week ago, hopefully you've opened your eyes and you believe me now that the season is truly over, pending the Guardians completely falling off the face of the earth and the White Sox winning out. There's just no shot at the division. We're certainly not the best in the division by any chance and by any shot, and we're not going to take a wild card spot. The other teams are just way too competitive. So no more optimistic or like, oh, if this guy just does this and this guy can do this, maybe. No, no more. It's over. It is fucking over. Season's done. Like I said, we've been saying that time and time again. Only if maybe if this guy steps up, maybe if that guy steps up. No one's stepping up. No one's going to do anything and replace anybody. So it's just how it's going to be. After looking promising, had some nice vibes and all that, but we blink and it's all gone. We go from up 4 games, no, over 500, 4 games over 500 to now we're 2 games below. We're playing the Royals for I don't even know how long. We're probably just gonna get swept. It doesn't matter. Just like how we get swept against the Diamondbacks. Yeah, it's just how it is. It's embarrassing, honestly. Where did it all go wrong? You can argue a number of things. Injury, that's what everyone's pointing at. Lack of production, like a movement at the trade deadline, poor management by Tony. But simply put, it's just underperforming, not executing on offense, constantly having guys on base. We won that one game, but we had like 12 singles. Like that can't happen. There's just no power in these fucking bats. 14 home runs is the team leader on this fucking squad.
Yeah,
Judge
that's not good.
Judge had 14 in the first month, basically. He's just hit 50. So between Vaughn, Abreu, probably Robert, Pollock, and Grandal for sure. I'm pretty sure Judge has more combined than all 5 of those guys. So that's just again
Yeah, he just hit
embarrassing.
50 on the year too.
Yep, exactly. So, uh, where was I? Sox are just they're not going to be contenders. And yeah, you can throw in like, Tony being sleepy, throw him in with, intentionally walking guys with 2 strikes. I don't know. He would get more blowback if he's getting the blowback that he is because we're not contending. If we were contenders, he'd be swept under the rug a little bit. But yeah, now the blame is going to go 9 times out of 10 to him.
Yeah.
It is as
It
well as
always
it
does,
should.
no matter what sport. It always does. It always
It,
goes to the manager or the coach.
It should, but yeah, we can't sit here and say that there's just underperforming and injury and just everything else. But yeah, they can't get it done. They're always just constantly in their way. Embarrassing, pathetic. I want to throw up is just constantly the words and phrases that I felt like I've thrown out just all season long to describe this ball club. At this rate, I feel like we should just I don't know. We're gonna die down all the like I said, we're gonna die down all the talk on the White Sox and Cubs at this point. It's just how it's gonna
Yeah.
be. Pending them winning 25 out of the next 30 games, just not gonna happen. We'll keep it brief, still keep you in the know on major news, nice news and stuff like the Marcus Stroman stuff, but weekly performances, updates, and all that stuff just it's gonna be out the window. It just feels like pure unenjoyable pain
Yeah.
at this point. So
You just reminded me too. Totally forgot to tell you guys the last couple weeks. As we've been doing, since the podcast started, football season's right around the corner. So we're going to be going back to 2 episodes a week. And,
there we go.
We usually release every Wednesday, Tuesday night, Wednesday with the 1 episodes a week. It varies a little differently during football season, depending on if the Bears play Thursday, Saturday later in the year, Sunday, Monday, we'll determine the days, at the beginning of that week. But we are going to be going back to 2 episodes a week, mainly focusing on football, fantasy, gambling,
Betting, yeah.
stuff like that. So, ramp
I
it
mean,
down a
yeah.
little bit on baseball. Still do playoff stuff.
Yeah.
Not fantasy, gambling stuff when it comes to baseball, World Series picks, and everything like that.
Also, we've
But
thrown
yeah,
out half chubs every single day,
yeah,
basically.
oh
But
yeah,
yeah, kind of
yeah.
cooled on
Twitter.
that. I haven't seen a matchup that I liked lately, so it is what it is. Yeah, basically wrapping it up on this guy. So yeah, like I said, that's basically it on the season. I'm out of hope until the team shows me something. But I've been saying that every single week on and off when they, sometimes they do good and I'm happy and then they absolutely fucking piss in my face the next week and I'm bitching and moaning the next week. So enough with that. That's out of the window. Like I said, we're not the Yankees, we're not the Astros, we're not the Dodgers, the Mets, the Braves. Even if we do get to the playoffs, we're gonna get squashed by one of those fucking teams. So I don't know. And all of a sudden, if these guys do get healthy magically, they're going to put it all together right then and there. They've done nothing all year. They've done dog dick. So it is what it is. Playoff chances for me as of now until I see something out the window. So it's not even go Sox anymore. We're waiting on we're focusing on football. So it's go team shat my fans. It's go team touch my team through the fence, and it's
Shat
teams
my fans.
0-1-1-0. Sox
I didn't
are
think of that for
done.
a second. I was like, shat my fans. Who's
Yeah.
fucking Oh,
Noah Fant.
uh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a
These
good
are all
one.
my fucking fantasy team names. So yeah, that's it. Sox are done. DUN. Done. Good night. Yeah. In
There
terms
we
of
go.
that, yeah, we already
Yeah,
kind
it's
of went
not a
over.
good
Yeah.
sign, for months and months now. Everybody's been fire Tony this, fire Tony that,
Sell the
hashtags
team now.
everywhere. And now, yeah, it's sell the team banners at the game. So not
Yeah,
good.
it's just not a good look. I mean, yeah, I'm not even gonna waste my breath on it anymore. It's been a fucking embarrassment. Probably. I mean, you can argue since maybe last year, but then they get the pass only because like, oh, they just got all this talent together now, and then it was like, oh, they got the injuries still last year too, so maybe they get the pass. No, not this year,
Yeah,
not now.
this was the year.
This
This
was
was the year
terrible.
to put
Yeah.
it all together. Yeah.
Now, I mean, what are they gonna? Is Reinsdorf gonna open up the checkbook and start paying everybody next year? No, it's gonna be a constant flow of mediocrity now until we find I don't know fire what is it until the spark lightning in a bottle with another Andrew Vaughn type guy or I don't know if Colson Montgomery works out or fucking if Jake Berger somehow figures it out too. But until then, we're gonna get underperforming year after underperforming year, and it's just not gonna be good. Sitting in the middle, like 81 and 81, 80 and 82 type seasons, it's gonna suck. It's gonna absolutely suck. That's how I feel for the next couple of years. It's just I don't feel good. Don't feel good. It's
Yeah.
not looking good. So that's it. That's on the Sox. That's on the Cubs. The only thing, two other things I had left on baseball before we get into our AFC North breakdown. The schedule came out, and I like it. We kind of made mention to it earlier last year. I remember putting on the notes, putting on the little calculator app, and how many statistically, what percentage of the season do you play division games? It was like over 50%. It's just like let's cut back on that. Sure enough, that's exactly what they're doing. They're able to play all 30 teams this season each game, while they're not going to get everyone at home, they're going to get everyone at least once. I think that's awesome. That's what I've been clamoring for. Again, some sort of sign of like, hey, let's grow the game. Because right away, I already made mention to our boy Troy, and he's gonna have a little segment of Kentucky update soon. But
Uh-oh, Troy incoming.
yeah, we can already talk to Troy about going to a Phillies game. We want to see Bryce Harper next year. Personally, I mean that's his favorite player, but I've never seen him play in person either. So I'd be pretty fucking awesome to go see. And that's exactly
Yeah.
the opportunity that we have now. We're gonna get
Exactly. Another
yeah.
opportunity to grow the game.
Mm-hmm.
Expose these guys around the country. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many matchups where I don't know, Fernando Tatis, or I know fucking, caught with the fucking steroids, but like a Fernando Tatis and Juan Soto and Machado on the Padres will never get to play like the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just don't see those matchups, and the same thing with the Phillies and the White Sox. You just don't see them a whole lot. And I'm excited you're going to see that now more.
Yeah. And you can get a lot of stats of like, oh, these guys haven't been here since fucking
Yeah.
2003 or
Yeah.
something like that. It's gonna be exactly just a lot of interleague matchups, interleague guys that you just haven't seen before. I'm very excited to see maybe something like Scherzer versus Abreu if
Yeah.
Abreu's still on the team or something like that, or I don't know. Yeah, just like I said off the top of my head, maybe just like I don't know, Verlander against Ozzy Albies or some shit
Yeah. Or
like
like
that.
Dylan Cease, a first pitch, fastball, blow it by a pitcher against like Pete Alonso. That's
Oh,
what who fucking kills fastballs. That's
yes,
something I would like to see. Sox Mets right
absolutely.
there. Cease against like a
The
good fucking power
DeGrom
fastball
versus
hitter. Yeah.
Trout.
Yes.
Yeah, there we
DeGrom
go.
versus Trout. Who's the real GOAT?
That just made my pee pee tingle.
Otani versus fucking anyone. Really,
Yeah,
anyone.
honestly, yeah, that'd be fucking great.
Anybody in the NL. Put him against fucking like a Mookie Betts or Freddie Freeman or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I mean, yeah, put him up in a pitching matchup or put him up in a hitting matchup. That's jack of all trades right there. Uh, Last little thing I had, if you had no more comments, just on the schedule, I got a butthurt Joe Madden. A little article came up, a little tidbit came up. Well, let's see. This was the quote right here. They put at the top of the page on this. The website's called thecomeback.com. This was the first website I looked up when I looked up Joe Madden and the quote that he said. So the quote is there's no anything It's like, to me, they don't even exist organizationally. And of course, he's talking about the Los Angeles Angels, the team that just fired him off that. I think it was like a 12-game losing streak
Yeah.
way earlier in the season. Uh, so yeah, it just sounds like he's a little. I don't know. Doesn't sound like he's in good graces with them, or I don't know. It just doesn't really sound all too good. Maybe a little butt hurt right there. Maybe he just dumped unceremoniously. Maybe he just doesn't feel like it was his fault. Hit or miss. The Angels are just underperforming. It seems like with anybody that they have. So I don't know. Maybe I don't have a side. Maybe you're on Joe Madden's side.
Yeah,
Maybe you can
definitely a
convince
little
me.
a
I don't
little
know.
salty. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, especially with the way that team started off the season, red hot. I mean, they were like 15 games above 500 at one point. And then yeah, you don't have Rondon, Trout gets hurt there in the middle of the season. But that team had high expectations, and especially him coming back to Los Angeles where he started his managerial career. I think he had high hopes and he really wanted to win with that team. And when he did get traded in the middle of the series, he got fired in the middle of the season like that. I think it just broke his heart.
Yeah,
I think
it
he
did
really
come out of
wanted to win with
nowhere,
that team.
honestly.
Yeah, he really, yeah, and no, like you said, a
Yeah,
12-game win streak is warrant for firing, especially with a roster like you have the two best baseball players in the world on your fucking team. Plus, you got Taylor Ward. You got and I know, like I said, Anthony Rondon wasn't there. Max Stassi's a decent catcher. You got Thor, who's not having too good of a season. Um,
they did. I
yeah,
mean, even like even then, like even now, their pitching besides Otani is
yeah,
atrocious. I mean, you can't
exactly.
name
So
anybody on there. There, I would guess probably even with Ryan Tapia in there, that fucking bullpen's probably awful as well. So I
Sloppy
mean,
Tapia, yeah, that's
yeah,
my boy.
if he's even on the team anymore, I have no idea. I don't check in with the
Yeah,
Angels
I just
very
think he
often.
had high hopes, high expectations being back with the Angels for his second time managing that team. And he just really wanted to win. And is it, just upset when he did get fired.
It's
So shit
just the
like
way the
that
cook.
said all the
Yeah,
team. I mean, Scottie Pippen said Phil Jackson was a racist, which we all know isn't fucking true. So, yeah, Joe
maybe you
Madden next
just
year,
yeah.
he might fucking cooler heads prevail, take that back at some point. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe that
And
quote
maybe
was
not.
just
Joe's a fucking weird guy.
yeah, maybe
So
the quote was just like him being hot at the moment or something, and they were just able to get a quick little thing. But yeah, it's sometimes again, yeah, it's just the way the cookie rumbles, I suppose. Uh, let's see. That was basically it on baseball. If you had anything
no,
else,
last thing, just real quick. Pujols fucking 6 away
oh,
from
that's right.
700 with about 30 something games left. I hope he gets it.
I hope so too. And then they also said that he broke a record 450. Oh
Different
no,
pitchers.
yes,
Yeah, which just broke a Barry Bonds record, which I don't count any Barry Bonds records anyway. So, uh, yeah, fucking 694 home runs off of 450 different pitchers. That's pretty
that's.
impressive.
I mean, that just goes to show you that's nothing but
Best
like,
right-handed
hey,
hitter of all time. The Degenerates podcast has been saying it for a year now. I guarantee you, Mel Kiper, even though he's a football guy, Colin Cowherd, some cocksucker is going to say it on ESPN when it's all said and done and steal our fucking clout like always. Dave Kaplan, that bald-headed bitch on ESPN 1000. Fuck you if you're listening to this.
there you go. You know what I was gonna say? Like I said, we'll do the AFC North breakdown brought to you by Points Bet, but just because it's really, really very short on my list, very quick NBA. Is that fine with you? Just
Yeah,
to
go
run,
for it. Knock it out real
yeah.
quick.
Just like I said, just a really quick round out what the highlights were. Only one thing related to the Bulls, but before I get into that, the number 2 overall pick, Chet Holmgren, the guy that went to the Oklahoma City Thunder at number 2. He's going to be out for the rest of the year. I believe it was something in his foot. He injured himself during a
Yeah, Liz
pro-am
Frank
game.
injury. No,
Yeah, oh, just like Najee Harris. Yikes.
done.
Uh, yeah, injured during a pro-am game trying to block LeBron James of all people. So I don't know about you. When I heard that news, not only did I immediately think of what everyone else already thinks, it's like, oh, he's kind of too scrawny, he's too small. That's kind of like, oh, welcome to the league already. But just like, you're the number 2 overall pick. You're already in the league. what else? Besides working out and getting some conditioning in and getting like, getting some good reps against these guys like LeBron James, who's like they always argue is the top guy. Why the fuck are you in a pro-am game? Why the fuck are you in a pro-am game? I know the Oklahoma City Thunder are doing nothing this year or next year or the time after that, but you got so much real estate around you. You have so much writing on you, and you're gonna fuck yourself up in a pro-am game. It's
Yeah,
a
that's
tough
dumb.
look. Yeah, it's just a tough look. And you get a guy like me who's exactly like probably half the people, half the fans are exactly just like I am with the reaction, like, yo, what the fuck? What are we doing? You're all like it's already established. Like you're gonna get your money, you're gonna play, you're gonna do this. Just get in the goddamn weight room and get bigger. I don't know why I'm even getting upset as much as I am. It's just because like it just I hate wasted time and wasted effort and wasted talent. And that's exactly what's going to be happening this year. You're not going to see this guy who was going to be arguably, he could have single handedly changed the game and win a couple games all by himself for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Completely out the window this year. You're gonna have to wait next year. Oh well, so bad, so sad. Like I
Yeah,
said,
I
that's a
never
tough look.
believed in him. I can't believe in a guy with the name Chet. Sorry.
That's a good point. That's actually one of those things that's like you don't have any notes on it, you don't have any
Yeah,
stats.
don't need
Yeah,
any.
I don't know any notable Chets that have won anything. So yeah, it's a
None.
very, very good point. But to round out like some to be positive, Zach Levine, obviously on the Bulls, shooting guard for the Bulls, just announced, not just, but a couple days ago, announced that the birth of his born child. So congratulations, very awesome, very fun to see. So hopefully he's going to go out there and ball for his firstborn next year, and so he can say, "Hey, I did that while you were eating applesauce." So so that was NBA. Like I said, good news. All is well, except for I guess Oklahoma City fans who are probably far and few in between. Don't have to worry about that because we got the AFC North breakdown brought to you by PointsBet. PointsBet, code SYS9. You got to be 21 and older. You got to be in Illinois, Iowa, New Jersey, and I guess New York. You're saying that, so we'll keep saying it for
New
now. Oh,
York.
New York. So yeah, go ahead and do that. Helps you go. You'll be getting yourself 2 free bets up to $2,000. You go ahead and do that. It helps yourself out. Helps us out over at the Generous Podcast. We're able to upgrade and get new shit like this. So
Oh
that's all
yeah.
fun. Oh, it's all well and fun. So yeah, AFC North breakdown: Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Steelers. We got our usual, like I've been doing every single time. Big questions, biggest ad drops, uh, who's gonna win, MVP odds, team totals, props on them as well, and then to make or miss the playoffs. Like I said, all these odds for the most part, for the majority, I got off points bet. Like I said, I'll be honest, like I said, a couple of props over
Promo code SYS9.
S9 SYS9.
Boom. For
Boom.
now.
Bing bing bong. So like usual, where do we want to start? Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, Browns. Where do we want to start?
Uh let's get the Browns out of the way.
Mm.
Let's fucking talk about
Like
them
I
because I
do
feel like
every single morning, I get my brown out of the way. We will go ahead and
that's
do.
not a racist thing, people. He's talking about poop.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for the
Just don't cancel
clarification.
us, please.
Thank you for that. I was just thinking about bowel
Gotta get
movements.
that brown out of the way. Say that with a twang. We're done.
Mm. God damn it. Uh yeah,
Yeah,
so
let's
here
talk
we
about the
go.
Browns and that fucking rapist.
Mm.
We ain't cancel after that. I don't know what.
Yeah. Come
Fucking
on out
no.
here.
Let's talk about the Browns over under wins expectations. This is a fun division. Like
It
I'm really
is.
excited about this North Division, even though Deshaun's not gonna be playing the first 11 games for the Browns. I think it'll be tight. This will be a fucking tight division. So
I
what do
feel
you got
like
for
this
us?
no even though all four of the teams might not be competitive and all four might not be playoff contenders, like every single division game that all these teams play, they're going to be down to the wire. They're going to be so close and they're going to be so fucking important because I got two of these teams within a game of each other, and that's basically going to decide the division winner. And then yeah, so just like I said, we got the. I'll just get into it. Like I said, this like we said, I think maybe the AFC West might be the most competitive, and while they're probably going to get the most teams out of the playoffs in there, this might be the most competitive division. And while there might be one or two teams that come out really high on top, these two other teams that come out of the bottom can really fuck their days up if it's possible. So, like I said, going into the Browns, big question, obviously, how bad will the Deshaun Watson thing affect them? Will Jacoby Brissett be able to, get them through some sort of hope and leave them into playoff contention? Obviously, we were hearing the reports that Garoppolo is going to be staying in San Fran. They're restructuring his contract, so there's going to be no hope there for them getting like a backup or any sort of actual starter in the meantime. So there goes that. And there's also the trade talk of are they going to trade Kareem Hunt? Will they make him happy, or are they just going to keep him in the same role? And it is what it is. So that's it basically right there. Basically, the biggest ad drops for them, obviously, Amari Cooper. They were able to extend Jadeveon Clowney, but they dropped Jarvis Landry. Probably a couple of guys on their defense as well, but I think those were the big names right then and there. What were you thinking of the Browns?
So looking at the Browns, finished 8-9 last year, third place in the division. With an injured Baker Mayfield, all year at quarterback. Looking at their first 11 games, I think there are a lot of winnable games in there for them. So, they start off with Carolina, the Jets, Pittsburgh, Atlanta, first 4 games. I think they could very easily go 2-2. I think they beat the Jets. I think they could beat Atlanta. Tough division game in there with the Steelers on Thursday night. And then, week 1, September 11th, fucking never forget how you doing against Carolina and Baker Mayfield revenge game. I even think they can win maybe that one. So I think they could start off this season 2-2. You got New England, you got Miami, which are some winnable games, but then you also play Cincinnati, you play Baltimore, you play the Chargers. I think if they can get to week 12 at like 4, you probably need 5 wins. I think they might be a playoff team. I think they got a good roster. It's just you got to find a way to win some games, like you said, with Jacoby Brissett at fucking quarterback, and I think they can do that.
It's not impossible.
They got Miles. They got Miles Garrett. They got Jadeveon Clowney. They got Denzel Ward on the defensive side of the ball. They got some ballers. I think they have the best run game in the league. I know a lot of people are going to say
they arguably might have the best line,
exactly.
offensive
No,
line.
I think they definitely have the best line.
Yeah.
A lot of people will argue the Ravens, and I understand that. And a lot of that is from Lamar Jackson. But you look at Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, they're both RB1s. I don't give a fuck if they split time. And then Jedrick Wills, Joe Bitonio, Wyatt Teller, Jack Conklin. That's the best offensive line in football to running the ball. So I think they're going to have to run the ball a lot, time management, defense, make some stops, probably a lot of close, low scoring games. But if they can get fucking, Carolina, Jets, Atlanta, New England, Miami, if they can get 5 wins out of those first, 11 weeks, I think they're sitting pretty good for the fucking end of the season if and when Deshaun Watson comes back. So it's all going to be, I think it's going to be running the ball is going to be a big thing for them. And I know that's really chalk to say, but tough, a lot of easy matchups at the beginning of the year, but you also got the Chargers, like I said in there. You got Baltimore, you got Cincinnati, you got Buffalo, and then week 12 you got Tampa Bay with the fucking goat. But yeah, I think they do got a chance to. I don't think they'll win a division. I think they could sneak into the playoffs if, like I said, the first 11 games, weather the storm without Deshaun Watson. I think they might be a playoff team.
It's possible you see that, but I'm not as optimistic on the Browns. I see their over under at 8.5. I'm going to take the under at -165. I'm honestly counting only 6 games, and that's being like being sneaky and getting an extra divisional game win. I think I give them the loss against the Panthers, the win against the Jets, most likely a loss against the Steelers or 2. Maybe they'll just end up splitting. But yeah, they get pretty early on. Like I said, they get the Chargers, they get the Ravens. They're gonna get the Ravens twice. I think they lose against the Dolphins in Miami. I guess they're probably gonna lose against the Bills in Buffalo, and they're gonna lose against the Buccaneers, all back to back to back. It's a tough look. They get the Texans to follow it up, but then just to finish it out, the Bengals, the Ravens, the Saints, the Commanders, and the Steelers. I mean, it's a tough look when you gotta care. I mean, you gotta rely on Deshaun Watson coming back, feeling good after all that he's gonna deal with, still probably in his head. But when you go back and you look at old report cards, I don't see a Jacoby Brissett led team in the playoffs. So I'm gonna bank on old tropes and say that he's just not going to be as reliable. He's going to have good games. He's going to lead drives and everything, but he's probably going to make mistakes. And
Yeah.
it's going to be a question of, are we going to get a reliable Amari Cooper, and who can step up and be a number two? Is maybe David Njoku can be a reliable guy? They paid him out the wazoo, so maybe get him going. But this defense is going to keep them in games without a doubt. Myles Garrett and like I said, Jadeveon Clowney coming off the ends, going to be solid. And they have a pretty good cornerback from what I remember. I don't remember, is it Ward?
Yeah, that was Denzel Ward. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's gonna be locking people down. There's gonna be a very tight net defense. Like I said, they'll keep them in low scoring affairs. Gonna be sacking people left and right. So their defense will give Jacoby Brissett the opportunity to keep him in games. But until he officially proves it, I can't give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna give him the under. I don't think they'll sniff a wild card spot. They're gonna probably be last in the division. I would think. I think the Steelers might even have a little bit of an uptick. Just maybe I don't know. Maybe just by a game or two, but I don't know. I don't see the Browns doing all so well. I think like I said, 6 games winning for them. That's what I got on the Browns.
Yeah. Line 8.5. That's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough look.
We got any props for these guys? I personally don't.
For the Browns, the only thing I found actually on DraftKings, they don't have anything ready because I think they were just holding off everything because of the Deshaun Watson news for good reason because they make half their prop bets on like the quarterback's rushing or the quarterback's passing / receiving and all that bullshit. So they didn't have a page for them. The only thing I liked or found interesting was Myles Garrett, defensive player of the year at plus 700. I think that's tied for first place on the favorites for defensive player of the year. So that's it. Myles Garrett plus 700 for defensive player of the year.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't have any. I looked at some of the rushing props and some of the over-unders on touchdowns. Nick Chubb at 1,150 yards. That's tough. I mean, he's already going to split time with Kareem Hunt. I know he's their go-to, first, second down back. But it all
if
depends.
He stays healthy, I feel like he can definitely achieve that with the amount of times that he's going to touch. But I do feel like it might just get a setback just because I feel like they might be passing it to him. So he's going to get the yardage. If there's some sort of combination yardage with that, I would be more inclined to do that. But rushing yards, he'll still get over 1,000. It said 1,100.
150.
It's a risk, but I would maybe be willing to do it. I don't know.
Is
that minus 110?
That is minus 120.
Okay. I mean, for the sake of being optimistic, and I mean, he's on one of my fantasy teams, and I like a lot of people they're high up on him, even though he went late in drafts and fantasy wise. But I feel like he's gonna have a solid year, and it's exactly for that reason. They're just gonna run the fucking ball down your throat, and that's how they're gonna have to control games if they want to win games. That's exactly what they're gonna have to do. If you had nothing more on the Browns, we can go ahead and shift over to either the Bengals, the Steelers, or the Ravens. What are you feeling?
I'll let you pick this one. I started off with the Browns. I'll let you take over second pick. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, you know what? Just for the sake of it, let's stay in the basement. I'm gonna go with the Steelers. Let's see. Yeah, the Steelers. My questions, my big things, big ad drops. Kenny Pickett, when will he start? How lenient will Trubisky be when it comes to like making mistakes and all that shit? Is it gonna be a short leash? Is it gonna be one of those games where he throws 3 picks and fumbles and he's just out next week and we never see or hear from him again? Or are we going to be able to see him again? If it does have a game like that, is he going to be available next week? What's going to be the deal there? I'm very much under the impression that Mike Tomlin will do whatever it takes to make over a 500 season again, like he always does. So it's kind of up to them. There's also breaking news about not breaking, but Najee Harris injury. They've kind of let on more than they did. He's got another Liz Frank injury on the show. Will he be okay? He did participate in the preseason game. Didn't do all too well. I think he had 3 rushing attempts, 4 passes caught for not too much yardage, only like maybe just under 30 yards total. Will he be okay? Will he be ready to roll? Because there's also TJ Watt, who they're also going to have to worry about. I think he just went out on an injury in one of their last preseason games. So, will the defense be able to keep them in games, just like how the Browns probably going to need to rely on their defense to keep them in games? That's what I got on the Steelers. Obviously the big ads were Mitch Trubisky, like we made mention to, Kenny Pickett being one of their high draft picks, as well as George Pickens, who I took way later on in one of my drafts. And one of their big drops was Juju Smith-Schuster, obviously going to the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll quickly make mention too for anybody that may have him again, just like I do on my fantasy team. Deontay Johnson, he went out very early in the preseason game, but reports are that Mike Tomlin is saying that if this injury of him messing up his shoulder, he made a very phenomenal catch and then came down on his shoulder wrong for anybody who didn't see it or it doesn't know. But again, they took him out and rolled him out immediately in the preseason game. But again, if this Mike Tomlin said if this were to happen in a regular season game, probably would have been patched up and been right back out there for the regular season game. So that's optimistic and good to hear. But yeah, what are we thinking on the Steelers? What do you think on the Steelers?
Oh, it's tough. It breaks my heart to say this because I like Mitch. I know earlier in the season I put my balls on the line and I said Mitch was going to lead this team to the playoffs. But I think this is going to be Mike Tomlin's first losing year. I really do. Just looking at the lack of weapons on offense, I know they get Pickens and a lot of people are high on him. I think he's going to have a good year too.
He had a decent preseason.
Yeah. They don't have the best offensive line. I mean, they lost DeCastro, who was one of their right guards. They go out and get James Daniels from the Bears, which decent little move there, but not a lot of talent on that offensive line. I think Mitch is just going to be in a very similar situation he was here with the Bears. Not a lot of protection. Going to have to scramble for his life, throw some balls he doesn't want to throw. And the defense is good. They got Devin Bush still. They go out and get Miles Jack from the Jaguars. They still got Cameron Hayward, TJ Watt injured, like you said, Minka Fitzpatrick, stacked on the defensive side of the ball. I just don't. I look at this team sort of like the Bears have been the last couple of years. Decent on I can't talk. Decent on defense. That's tough to say. But I don't think they're going to put up the points on offense to win games. I got the line here at 7.5. I don't know what you got it at. Honestly,
same. Yeah.
They got a tough schedule too. Like they have a very tough schedule. They got Baltimore, they got Vegas, Vegas in there, Baltimore twice. They got the Colts. They got Buffalo, Tampa Bay, Miami, Philly. I think this team's going to come in last this year. I take the under on 7.5 wins. You're going to get some bright spots. They're still going to put up points, those receivers, fantasy wise. But with Mitch Trubisky, Mason Rudolph, and a rookie quarterback, it doesn't really matter which one of those three are in there. I don't trust any of them yet. So I'm gonna take the Steelers to come in last in this division this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the division odds have it basically in the same. They have them at the lowest odds at plus 800, 850. Not very enticing, but a little bit better at when you got the Browns at plus 600, I think, or something like that. I'll have to double check in a second, but yeah, same thing. I have the line at 7.5. I have the under 2. I have them at 7 wins. That's being optimistic. That's if they don't just completely fall off a cliff. Again, that was me counting beating the Browns twice and then throwing in a wild card and maybe beating the Ravens or the Bengals one time. Again, that's me being completely optimistic on them. I'll say they might come in third just for what I was coming at, where I was talking about. I think the Browns will come in last in the division just because I feel like Jacoby Brissett might put them in a hole that Deshaun Watson just can't put them out of. And Deshaun Watson loves holes, but he just can't dig them out of this one. So yeah, not feeling as high optimistic as the Steelers will be. Like you said, in the same realm of they probably will have their first losing season under Mike Tomlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing really more on that. I mean, the only prop I had on the Steelers was offensive rookie of the year. Kenny Pickett is the favorite at plus 800. I feel like it's pretty good value whenever you can get a favorite at that high.
Yeah, especially a quarterback too.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then fourth favorite, Kenny or George Pickens at plus 1,050. Excuse me. Yeah. So again, pretty decent little chunk of change you can make. One of these maybe, like I said, Trubisky falls off a cliff, fucking or just has a game where he throws 3 interceptions, fumbles once or twice, nothing. Then they just throw in Pickens or Pickett at the last minute, last drive or two, and he looks pretty good. Bing, bang, boom. He's got the
Yeah.
starting job for the rest of the year. It's as simple as that.
I got one prop bet that I'm gonna take, and it's not gonna win. But Mitch Trubisky to win league MVP plus 7,500
Oh
has the
my,
same odds as Justin Fields. So
oh my
we're gonna
god.
take Money Mitch, league MVP,
There
plus
you go.
7,500.
There you go.
You're
I
fun.
like
I'll put $1 on it.
that. Nice. All right. If you got nothing else on the Steelers, we can go and dive in on the Ravens and the Bengals. What are you feeling?
Let's see. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's talk Ravens. We'll save the Super
Ravens.
Bowl fucking they're not Super Bowl chance, Super Bowl contenders last year.
Yeah.
We'll save them for last. Let's talk some Ravens.
All righty. Let's see. Ravens ad drops. Ravens questions. Can we see MVP Lamar Jackson again? He's coming into a contract year lingering, so maybe he just wants to play some fuck you football and earn it and maybe make it earn his paycheck. Or maybe he just doesn't come up to par. He maybe just overdoes it or something. He's got a couple pieces missing, but a couple stepped in, if I'm not mistaken. Marquise Brown gone to the Cardinals. Sammy Watkins on the Green Bay Packers. Mark Andrews gonna have to step up, or Rashad Bateman's gonna have to step up in his role for sure. I mean, how much more can Mark Andrews truly step up? He's done phenomenal,
Yeah.
but yeah, got some holes at receiver, got some holes at running back as well. They're not entirely optimistic on J.K. Dobbins returning for week 1. Got Gus Edwards out on the pup list, so he's for sure going to miss the first month of the season. And then they just signed Mike Davis. That's good and all, but then again, you just pull back on the Gus Edward on the J.K. Dobbins hope, and you're also like, oh, Mike Davis just isn't the most just not an appealing guy to be running the ball, and at least not from my take. I don't know. I didn't
Yeah.
feel like he didn't have that great of a season last year. He wasn't Houston, but it is what it is. Uh, but yeah, just Mike Davis being added just recently, possibly getting a healthy J.K. Dobbins down the line. That's going to be optimistic, but yeah, the big move, losing Marquise Brown, losing Sammy Watkins. What are we feeling on the Ravens? Because I'm feeling a little optimistic, but yeah,
I
what are,
am
what are you
too.
feeling?
I'm gonna go back to what you said at the beginning. Can Lamar Jackson get back to MVP form? I think he can. I really think he can. You saw it towards the end of the year last year. He's, obviously he's always deadly running the ball. The most, the biggest threat using his feet at the quarterback position in the league, no doubt. Uh, but you also saw him make some throws last year towards the end of the year. And Mark Andrews, the main recipient of that, finished, tight end 1 in most fantasy leagues last year, depending on your scoring. Um, they do add what's his name? Uh what's his name? I can't think of his fucking name. Offensive lineman, guy from the fucking Giants. Kevin Zeitler. Kevin
Ooh,
Zeitler,
okay.
the fucking guard, who's one of the best guards in football when it comes to running the ball. They add him at right guard. J.K. Dobbins, yeah, you don't know what the health of them is. The health of him is going to be. But just thinking about this now, I wouldn't be surprised if they added a guy like Marlon Mack, who just got cut by the Texans.
Yeah.
They can add a running back to that team.
Philip
They got
Lindsay
a
also just
yeah.
got cut by the Colts.
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
a lot of speed at wide receiver. I mean, Rashad Bateman, Devin Duvernay, Demarcus Robinson, the former Chief, James Prochet. That is a lot of fucking speed. So I think this is going to be the fastest offense in football. And they're also not going to be afraid to pound it when they have to. So I'm always a big fan of offenses like that, not afraid to run it and pound it. Patrick Rashard, the converted defensive tackle, is their fullback. Love that dude. So I'm high on them. Looking at the defensive side of the ball, I personally think they got the best secondary in football. You got Marcus Peters, Chuck Clark, Marcus Williams, Marlon Humphrey, and Kyle Fuller. I mean, you're starting three safeties or starting three corners. Kyle Fuller is going to probably be your nickel, Marlon Humphrey, and Marcus Peters. I mean, you're going to be locking some people down with those dudes. And Marcus Peters has always been a ball hawk, always intercepting shit. So I'm expecting a lot of turnovers. Patrick Queen still interior linebacker for them. They get the rookie safety Kyle Hamilton out of Notre Dame, top safety off the board last year. They still got Calais Campbell, Tyus Bowser, Michael Pierce on that defensive line. I absolutely love this defense. I think they could be, turnover wise, fantasy point wise, the best defense in football. So that combined with an amazing run game and all the speed they have on offense, I'm going to take the Ravens to win the North this year.
There you go.
I don't know what the odds on them are.
Plus 140.
Are they the favorites or
they
are
are
the
the
Bengals
favorite.
Oh, okay. They are the favorites. Okay,
It's a very close one, too. We got the Ravens at plus 140 as the favorite. We got the Bengals at plus 165 coming in second.
Tight.
Browns plus 450 at third, and the Steelers last at plus 850.
So yeah, I guess I'm riding with Vegas this year division wise. I'm gonna take the Ravens to win this division.
Yeah, you know what? I hate being chalk and everything, but sometimes it's exactly what you need to be. You got to be a chalk eating weasel. Plus 140. I like the value right there for a team that, it's exactly the size. It's kind of exactly what we just said. It's gonna be led by Lamar Jackson. They're gonna ride or die with him for sure. I feel like he's just gonna absolutely ball out every opportunity that he has. I don't feel like they have a light schedule, but they do have runs and stretches where they don't really play hugely competitive teams. They've, very early on, and like I said, very not lollipop teams. No teams are necessarily that. You don't want to overlook anybody. They almost lost to the Lions last year. I think they could easily
start the season 3-0.
Exactly. Yeah, their hard games are very far and few in between. But like I said, not a cupcake season by any means. They're definitely poised to win the division. They're the best. I think their schedule makes it so that they are the best possible chances to win that division. But like I just made mention too, every single one of their divisional games, all 6 of them, are going to be really important. I mean, while the Browns aren't going to be maybe competitive all season long, they're going to bring it in their division games. Same thing with the Steelers. Mike Tomlin is going to absolutely want to fucking rip these guys' throats out just because they're inter-division games. And while, maybe Mike Tomlin knows it and doesn't want to admit it to himself that he just doesn't have the talent that he wants to, but he's still going to go out there against the Ravens and want to rip John Harbaugh's fucking heart out or something like that. Yeah. So it's going to be shit like that. That's exactly what's going to come down to. I feel like that's the last division where it's definitely like where blood can be fucking shed. I feel like so. I mean, and we definitely saw it when Myles Garrett just ripped off fucking Mason Rudolph's helmet and almost beat him to death with it. So, I mean, like I said, I'm taking the over on the wins. I see 12. They can beat it by, like I said, they can take their 9.5 as the over one minus 180.
Wow,
you're not getting a lot of value. Yeah, you're not getting a lot of value, but if you parlay with other teams to win their division or something like that, you could probably put it together a nice little plus money parlay. But I don't know, they could definitely win that by at least 2 games. Like I said, I'm counting 12. I think that wins the division. I see the Bengals also at 9.5. I'll preview it right now, but I'll take their over on their wins. I see them at 11. Those division games between those 2 teams are going to be so much fun to watch. That's going to determine the division right there. So like I said, I'll take the over on the Ravens right there.
The big thing with the Ravens, and I know this goes with every single team we talk about, but it's health. I mean, one point at last year, they had 23 starters on both sides of the ball. There's only 22 starters, and they had 23 somehow out.
But it seems like it was almost effortless for them to make the playoffs. It seems like it was still like, bang, they're still going to be in the playoffs no matter what. They could have
3 of their starters through last season were hurt at some point. So,
I mean, I know the Titans. I think the Titans had the most people on the IR last year. I think that was one of those guys. But Yeah, it just shows to show that they know they got the talent, they know who's next man up, and that coaching core is so fucking awesome.
I mean,
They
hey,
know
fuck yeah. I mean, look at what 20 something straight preseason wins, next man up mentality. It's been like
yeah,
that for years. Because I
absolutely.
mean, even the preseason teams, preseason games are dominating.
Yeah. I got two props on the Ravens. I got Bateman and Andrews to combine for 1,995 and a half receiving yards. And that is at plus 150. So yeah, just if they can combine for 2,000 receiving yards, that'd be great. I feel like that can definitely be doable. And this one's a fun one. I'm not putting my heart and soul into it, but it would just be fun and just to make kicks more exciting every single time. Justin Tucker not to miss a field goal during the regular season plus 2,500. I feel like it's going to be about 40 45 opportunities where you could
Yeah.
lose that, but
Wow.
but it's worth the fucking I think that's worth the 2,500 right there.
Week 17, he's 46 for 46, and he donked going off the
I think I took
crossbar,
this
dude.
last year and he missed in the week 2. I think that was
Oh,
yeah. So that was one of those things, but I'll do it again. I'll fucking roll the dice every single time. He's the besides him and like Cairo Santos, probably the most reliable kickers in the league.
yeah.
So that's that. I mean, if you got any props on the Ravens,
I got one prop bet, one that I really liked, even money. Can't believe I got the odds I did on this. Lamar Jackson over 5.5 rushing touchdowns. Even money. I love that. I think,
yeah,
obviously your
that's
go-to
awesome.
weapon in the red zone is going to be Mark Andrews, but no big name receivers over there. Smorgasbord of fucking running backs. It feels like it's always like that. He's just going to take it himself, pound in 6 touchdowns this year and cash that ticket. So over 5.5 rushing touchdowns for Jackson. We're going to take that one.
I like that. He can get that in a stretch of like 3 games,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty solid right there. And like I said, I'm going to try and stay optimistic because I have him in at least one of my leagues. So that's going to be very fun to watch. Just more exciting to watch Lamar Jackson. Always been a big fan. I always thought as soon as whenever I was watching that draft when he went and he goes 30th, I'm just like in the back of my mind, I'm like, wow. I might not be cracked up on all of college football, but I feel like that might have been the steal of the century. And
Yeah.
it's kind of cracking up to be one of those big ones. He went like 30th overall or something like that. You always talk about, oh, this team draft missed him. Every team missed out on Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson. So it is what it is. If you got nothing else, we can go into it on the Bengals.
Yeah. Let's talk about the fucking AFC champs
Here we
2022.
go.
AFC champs, fucking
Yeah,
Bengals representing the AFC last year. They made a lot of upgrades. I mean, this is still going to be a good team. I think I think it's going to be between them and the Ravens, no doubt for the division. I don't think the other two teams are going to fucking contend. But what do you got on the Browns or the Bengals? Excuse me.
yeah, Bengals, no, more or less the same thing. Just are they going to be able to silence the haters after this Super Bowl run? Maybe probably a lot of people are labeling it as a fluke, that they were there or not, but it's going to be exactly that. Are people going to be able to rely on Joe Burrow? A lot of people are calling him into question. Everyone, I don't know, maybe comparing him to like, is he just like a overvalued Kirk Cousins, or is he exactly going to be like the gunslinging type guy? I feel like that's all going to matter upon how the offense is going to work out this year. Are they finally going to allow Joe Burrow to throw 50 times a game like fucking Ryan or what Ryan Phillips? Was that the guy's name? All right.
Who?
The former San Diego Charger quarterback Phillips.
Uh, Philip Rivers.
Yeah, Philip Rivers. Okay, there we go. Are they going to be able to give him the option of like, yeah, can you throw 50 times, or are they just going to go run heavy and have Joe Mixon touch the ball 25 times? That's going to be the deciding factor if Joe Burrow is going to be the MVP type guy or not. It's going to be whoever the head coach is. I feel like his name is like Zack Taylor or something like that. So that's why I'm pulling back a little bit on them. I got them not to win the division, definitely second. I'm with you. I got them first, second, third, fourth, just basically how it is. Maybe switching up the Browns last, but it is what it is. They lose CJ Ozoma, they lose Larry Ogunjobi, they lose Ricardo Allen. Yeah, I'm just looking at their team total. It was the same exact thing as the Ravens. I'll take the over on them as well. I see 11 games possible, but again, that's Those division games are going to be the most important thing because I mean it could be one false move and maybe they just slip up and lose to the Steelers or something like that. It could be something like that. I feel like they're much more well versed and they have the talent. They've had this wide receiver core that we talked about every single week basically last year going up into the playoffs. It was just obviously Jamar Chase, T Higgins, and Tyler Boyd in there now. So yeah, this is a pretty solid team, but it can come down to one or two games. And in terms of who's the better established team, who's the better established organization, I'll give it to the Ravens. So the Ravens win the division. So yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I do think they're gonna take a not even a step backwards, just not a step
No,
forwards.
yeah, that makes
Um,
sense.
yeah. Good news, your boy Brian Robinson at the fucking Commanders facility today. He's got
Oh,
crutches on, but he is walking. So
that's
good thing,
awesome.
and he's got a thing of Oreos in his hand. Huh? Big
Ooh,
Oreo guy. I'm an
okay.
Oreo guy too.
All right, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching a video right now. Ron Rivera goes up, gives him a big hug. That's cool to see him back at the
Oh yeah.
facility already. That's a good sign. Um, yeah,
Shout out
I
to Riverboat Ron. He was already he visited him in the hospital. He made sure to talk about that. He tweeted about it later on his personal account. So just to I don't think Matt Nagy would have done that if David Montgomery
no.
got shot. So that's just me being me. I don't know. I'm just being
So
facetious.
I mean, I still think they got the best wide receiver trio in the league. Joe Mixon finally showed last year that when healthy, he could put a full season together and be a top running back in the league. And then they even go out and they add Alex Kappa and Lael Collins at right guard and right tackle. So bolster that offensive line. Joe Burrow ain't gonna have to run for his life anymore. Um, that defense last year was suspect at times. I know they came up clutch in the AFC Championship game, down 21-3 to the Chiefs. Get a big fumble and a big interception late in the game to, get that comeback win in Kansas City. But they're very much like a bend don't break defense, and I feel like in the high powered AFC that we're gonna have this year, just the Bills, the other teams in this division, the AFC West, that bend don't break mentality might not be enough to win games. So just looking at some of the other defenses, we named them with the Chargers, the teams in the fucking West, the Broncos, the Bills, even the Ravens and Steelers gonna have a fucking good defense too. Um,
With
I
this,
think,
they have the second like toughest strength of schedule, and it's exactly what you just said. If
yeah,
they bring the team that lost to the Bears in week 3 every week, they aren't going to win many games. They need exactly that. They need the AFC Championship game type Bengals to come in and win games, and that can't. I don't think that's necessarily going to happen for 17 weeks.
yeah, neither do I. I will still take the over on their wins.
Oh yeah,
I
one hundred
think that
percent.
offense is explosive enough to win some games. I just think that defense is also going to give up a lot of points, though.
Yeah,
So I do like Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson on the fucking edge, getting after the quarterback. Jesse Bates, the heart and soul, the leader of that fucking team, one of the most underrated safeties in the league. Um, and then even former Cowboy corner. I've always liked him. Cheetah Bay Awuzie. It's just a fun
yeah,
name to say. Oh, that was a
yeah.
good one.
No, yeah,
They got some good names. But the offense is where it's going to be at this year. I
yeah.
think got to keep Joe Burrow standing up straight. I know he survived all last year. He took some fucking big hits. That's a tough motherfucker. But he ain't going to be able to do that forever. And getting Lael Collins and Alex Kappa, that should be enough to protect him. Get
Mhm.
this offense. I think they're going to be a top 6 offense in terms of fucking scoring. How can you not be with all those weapons and a great young quarterback? But the defense might be the downfall of this team. And not even dicey downfall like that's a bad thing. I'm just saying
It's
that'll be
just
the difference
that's
between
definitely
them
the
winning and
part of the
losing.
team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'll be
yeah,
the difference between them winning and losing the division.
yeah. That's the part of the team that's clearly lacking when we talk about and we highly boast about their offense. This and yeah, exactly that. Possibly the best trio of wide receivers in the league. It's definitely like their defense sticks out like a sore thumb. There's no real notable names. There's no guys that lead the league in this or lead the league in that. And it's just, but they could put it together exactly like they just did. You find lightning in a bottle. It's possible, but yeah, like I said, the Ravens to me seem like the more put together team. So I'll give them the win of the division. In terms of Bengals props, I have one, and it's just going along the lines of, like I said, what kind of it just runs the theme of I gave them 11 wins, so this should hit if all goes well, if my calculations are correct. Over 10 and a half wins, and Jamar Chase over 1,249 and a half receiving yards at plus 250.
Ooh,
Not,
that's a good one.
yeah, yeah. Not. It could be it could be over. I mean, I'm not in love with it because I mean I see 11 wins as like that's it. That could be 11 wins right there. But I mean, they could steal another win against the Ravens or two. They can maybe get a big win against somebody else, but it also could be like they need to be kind of perfect for this one to hit. So be wary. I did give this out just because everything else kind of there was a lot of things that relied on like Joe Mixon, and I'm not a big Joe Mixon guy, so I don't want to give that out with any positivity. So it is what it is. That's what I had.
Yeah. I had one prop. It's going to be a receiving prop for T. Higgins, actually. I got even money for him to go over 1,025 and a half
I like
receiving
that.
yards this year. I like that. A little bit of sad news. His father actually passed away today, which, I saw on Twitter. He posted some heartbreaking emojis, and everybody thought like he got cut.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
stupid.
no.
He's not getting cut. His father passed away, so he's going to be balling out for his fucking daddy this year. Over 1,025 and a half yards. Book it. I might, I was sort of avoiding him in fantasy this year just because I don't want to mess with that trio. Obviously, I would take Chase, but the other two guys, knowing that fucking news now, I think he's gonna ball out. I think he's gonna easily go
If
over a
if
thousand
people are
twenty-five.
if you're confident and other people are in Gabe Davis and he's a number two, I feel like people should be chomping at the bit if they want
Yeah,
T Higgins
yeah,
on their fantasy team. That is such a good. I mean, I don't want to like again throw in the bias because I have him on two out of my three teams, but any piece of that Bengals offense is going to be very fun to have and
yeah,
very valuable. Whether it's Jamar Chase, whether it's T. Higgins, Joe Burrow, or Joe Mixon, you're going to have some quality points come from that offense. So
yeah.
that's
And
going to be
even
pretty
Hayden
good.
Hurst was a decent little tight
Oh
end over
yeah,
there
yeah,
too.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I was actually kind of thinking and lingering on like who did they replace CJ Ozoma with? But that's gonna be a consistent tight end. You could probably definitely wasn't definitely wasn't drafted in any of my drafts
no,
this year.
no.
But you probably find him, probably find like Austin Hooper still on there in a couple of leagues or something like that. But yeah, just that's gonna be it's gonna be the AFC North. Yep, that's what it is. I think we already said it. We're gonna both go with the Ravens in
Yep.
terms of yeah. I see we got the Ravens. We see the Bengals. You got the Browns and then the Steelers. I see the Steelers and then the Browns coming in the division to round out the last two. But who do really cares? Mike Tomlin, we both agree will not get a winning season. Probably in the
Yeah.
same boat of Lamar Jackson having an MVP caliber season, and we just want to see the defense step up for the Bengals. So, yeah, no reason to spin a wheel. We got one more team to preview next
Ooh.
week. AFC South, the Colts, the Texans, the Jags, and the
The
Titans.
Titans, yeah.
Yes, that's gonna be very
Big, hey,
fun.
big news, breaking news coming out of fucking Buffalo. Star cornerback Tre'Davious White put on the pup list. He will be out for at least the first
Oh
four
wow.
weeks. Yeah.
Wow, that's a big one. They also just cut OJ Howard, surprisingly. I don't know.
Fuck him.
Really? Oh, okay. All right. Feel like he was a reliable
Dawson Knox
fantasy.
is gonna run that
Oh yeah,
offense.
for sure. But I
2,000
mean,
yards, 17 touchdowns, triple crown as a tight end, first ever to
yeah,
do it.
makes a ton of sense. Let me see
Josh
real quick.
Allen, I can't believe you, Uncle Joe, Uncle Alex, AJ, whoever's listening. I can't believe you let me get Diggs, Allen, and Jefferson. You're all fucking idiots. I can't wait to sodomize you every fucking
Oh my
weekend.
god. Oh Lord Almighty. And that's what just made the show 18 plus now on the
There we
Spotify
go.
rating.
We got the little explicit rating.
Yeah, for sure. Let me see. Just quickly running through to make her miss the playoffs. No real value anywhere. minus 170 for the Ravens to make the playoffs. They're going to make the playoffs. Minus 135 if you think the Bengals will make the playoffs. That's a nice, close to even money type deal if you want to throw it on there. Plus 115 if you think they'll probably fall off some sort of cliff. So that could be some little value right there. For you, you think the Browns will make the playoffs? Plus 175
Eh,
if you don't like if you're going to counter what I think, if you want to ride with Bill. I mean, the Steelers are at plus 290. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but yeah, minus 375 for them not to make the playoffs. No value right there. MVP odds running through really quick. Joe Burrow plus 1100. Lamar Jackson behind him at plus 1800. And the guys after that. I mean, you made mention to Mitch. I couldn't even find Mitch on the points bet, but Nick Chubb on plus 15,000, Jamar
uh,
Chase plus 20,000, and Najee Harris plus 20,000. I wouldn't even want to do that now with the Liz Frank injury news coming up. So that is the AFC North. If you have anything else on that, like I said, that wraps that up. That was all brought to you by, say it with me now, Points
Points
Bet.
bet.
Oh yeah, that code SYS9 gets you 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. That's in the states of New Jersey, Illinois, Iowa, and New York.
New
New
York.
York. Oh yeah.
Fucking
SYS9 is
shithole.
that code. Helps you out, helps us out over here. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Got to be 21 and older. Is there any other restrictions, news, anything else on that? I don't remember. So there you go. Bet responsibly. You know what to do. We can stay in the realm of football before we wrap it up with some wrestling on the docket. I know we wanted to talk about a little bit of perfect preseason for the Bears.
Yeah.
Justin Fields, 13 for 13, last game, 3 touchdowns. How we
Yeah.
feeling? That's pretty optimistic, pretty good.
He looked good. I know the Bears played all the fucking backups, and I forgot what his name was. One of the starters on the Browns actually tweeted afterwards, like someone was giving, I think it was the actual NFL Instagram page was, we posted some highlights of Justin Fields, just hyping him up. He had a great game. And one of the players from the Browns defense actually like commented on the post, and he's like, LOL, all the backups were in the game with like the crying face emoji. Shut the fuck up. Can't we just be excited for our boy? Like, he went 14 for 16, 3 touchdown passes. Couple of them were absolute dots. Um, he looked great, but I'm excited about that offensive line. That offensive line protected him. They gave him time to throw the ball. And the one thing that I absolutely loved that we talked about last year, in a negative light. One of the plays, Justin Fields took off, got hit as he was sliding. And last year, Tevin Jenkins sort of got in a dude's face, pushed him, and then I forgot who it was. One of the offensive linemen sort of pulled him away and yelled at him for protecting his quarterback when that's not what you want to do. Over the weekend, he got hit. He got hit. It was a little late. He got hit as he was sliding. And Sam Mustipher came in and pushed that motherfucker. He shoved him in the face, told him to get the
Yes.
fuck off my quarterback. And
Yes.
you see all the other linemen sort of come in and back that dude up.
They
That's
must have listened to
huge.
that episode. Yes, that's
Exactly.
exactly what we fucking wanted. Stick up for your quarterback. Get your hands a little fucking dirty. This is exactly what the Bears were doing. They were running what was it? Not they put all their starters in the beginning. They gave them a couple more runs that they were expecting to or whatever. So
Yeah.
rehearsal game. There we go. It was a rehearsal couple of stretches or whatever. So and that's exactly that. He looked good. The line looked good, protecting, allowing people to run. While we're not sitting here and saying Super Bowl contenders, I did give them the over on their wins just to stay optimistic. But that's nice to see. Being optimistic, being competitive. While it may have been the backups or whatever. So now at least we know that like, oh, they would lose to the fucking backups. At least we know that that's not going to be necessarily the truth now.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. I mean, preseason, yeah, everyone can say preseason this, preseason that. That was fun to see. Now everyone gets a nice week off, gets their head back together, and we're gonna see San Fran week 1. Not as highly optimistic. I feel like San Fran's gonna do very well, but Trey Lance had a pretty shitty last game. I think he didn't do very well. He got sacked multiple times by the Atlanta Falcons of all teams. They
Ooh.
didn't score any points at all in that game. I think it was like a 17-0 shutout.
Hey,
Uh,
if both those quarterbacks come out and play the way they did week 3, Bears might shock the fucking nation.
shock the world, baby. So I mean, yeah, we'll obviously when we get into our little 2 episodes a week type deal, we'll definitely deep dive preview into that. But I think yeah, next week we'll definitely have our final little, definitely locked in for sure preview on the Bears, everything that we want, all our goals and expectations that we feel should
Yeah.
be met. Probably, excuse me. Yeah, I'm just getting, it's just burp central over here on fucking the Generous podcast. I think we should just change it to that, burp central.
That's
Uh,
actually a great name for a
yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, just we'll deep dive for sure next week, just on probably maybe even week by week what we expect from that. We'll keep it. We'll see how it is. We'll talk throughout the week,
Yeah.
obviously. If you had nothing else on the Bears, I feel like we can kind of already talked about it. Kind of already talked about Brian Robinson Jr. Like I said, we see the culprits. We wanted it. We already expected who we wanted it to be, but it is what it is. Hopefully get better, Brian Robinson Jr.
Yeah, for sure.
On
Good
the
to see
other
him
end,
back at the fucking facility, man.
yeah,
That's
yeah, oh yeah,
awesome.
absolutely. That's awesome. That's cool that we get this little update as we are recording. That's good. Actually, oh, usually afterward we always
Yeah,
hear
it didn't
all the good
happen
news.
afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to see. But on the other end, we saw Aaron Donald. Oh, we saw Aaron Donald almost kill somebody, but with a helmet. We saw the practice facility videos. The Bengals and the Rams had their little jointed practice. Maybe you saw this similar on Hard Knocks earlier this week. The Lions and the Saints, I believe it was, ran no, the Lions and the Colts ran
Colts, yeah.
run a practice facility. Of course, they have to do teams with both blue and white have to just come together and just clash colors. They look like just one was wearing a weight and one was wearing the away jersey and one was wearing the home jersey. That's what it felt like to me. I would have been a little mad with the practice facility there, but yeah, no, sure enough. Let me get back to what we're actually talking about. Aaron Donald ripping off the helmet, beating multiple players, it looked like, with it. We see that close up zoom in video of the helmet almost being flattened on a goddamn guy's head. But Ryan Clark and Stephen A. Smith, they won't let you call it assault. They're not going to let you call it as it is. That's my only thing on it, really. Just the idea, yeah, that's what really got me like sparked up on this whole conversation. Obviously, it's an egregious fucking sight to see. You don't want to see guys beating other people with helmets on. It essentially is a fucking weapon. So to sit there and not be able to call it what it is as it is, that's when we get into a very sticky, hairy situation, and not just in football, but just in society as general, when we can't identify things as they are. Do I want Aaron Donald to be in jail for assault? No, but I have eyes and a mouth, and I can identify what that exactly is. If it, take it out of the context of him being at a practice facility, if he were to do this on the street, it'd be assault. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to point that out as to what it is. So yeah, like while nobody should be clamoring and hoping that Aaron Donald gets charged anything criminality wise, maybe get a suspension, maybe get a fine. Definitely should get a fine, from without a doubt. I mean, it's clear cut. He just beat him with a fucking helmet.
Yeah.
But to sit there and not be able to say, call it assault or something like that, that again, that's when we get into a hairy situation. I didn't like Ryan Clark's comments on first take. Nobody really likes first takes in general, but
Yeah. Yeah.
sitting
No.
there and letting Ryan Clark bounce off this horrible take about not letting all these white analysts coming in and saying this and wanting Aaron Donald to be charged. Yeah, that sucks, but you can't just sit there and say that it's not what it is. It is what it is. It's terrible. And obviously having the echo chamber of Stephen A. Smith just sitting there and be like, oh yeah, you right. Like, no, it's not healthy. You can't have that on there like that. I mean, like I said, I'm not sitting there and clamoring for Aaron Donald to go to jail.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
you need to
agree.
be able to identify what things are. That's when bad things start to happen. So
Yeah. First off, I don't even listen to anything those clowns say.
I just
Stephen
had to
A.
have, yeah.
Smith, fucking Shannon Sharp, Ryan Clark, Skip Bayless, the one dude, Andre Iguodala, Max Kellerman. They're all clowns. That's their
Sam
job.
Acho's on there too, which is some horrible fucking takes, and I can't listen to him because I just look at that gap in his fucking tooth the entire time. Yeah, so I mean that's all I got on him. I mean, like I said, these guys are fucking terrible.
Listen, I love cross-eyeds and I love gap teeth. There's nothing more satisfying. You like your pimple popping videos?
Oh yeah,
I can look at all fucking day. But anyway, I don't listen to anything those clowns say anyway, because that's
yeah,
exactly what they want. Just us to oppose them. That's their fucking
yeah.
jobs.
No, yeah.
But
That's the only way they still stay relevant. It's exactly that. Just feeding off of the fire of, I guess, obviously other people in better situations, probably getting their reaction out of it.
Ryan
But
Clark
yeah,
couldn't cut it as a player. So he has to fucking
barely
go on
cuddling.
TV
Yeah,
and say, ridiculous shit like that. Which,
yeah,
whatever, that's your job. Congratulations.
yeah.
Not gonna
And you have every
knock
right
you.
to have that opinion. But again, to sit there and
To sit
say
there
like,
and play a
yeah,
race card,
yeah,
like, come
and then
on.
also
That's all
rely,
people
yeah,
do nowadays.
to rely
That's
on the argument of, oh, you didn't play, so you don't know.
I
No,
played
that's a
football. I
horrible.
think you did
Yeah,
too, Nick.
yeah, I did. I didn't play at the
Don't matter
same
what
level as
level,
Ryan
dude. It doesn't
Clark.
matter.
Yeah, but I know that tensions get high when you're playing. I mean, even within your team, just one little small comment by one of your fucking players, you're like, hey, what the fuck did you just say? Push comes to shove, and shit gets out of hand sometimes. Yes, that happens. But like I said, I have eyes, I have a nose, I have a mouth, I have all my senses intact. I can identify what that is, and that was assault. He took a weapon, took it off of somebody's head, and bashed it over their fucking head, regardless if they were already wearing a helmet or not.
Yeah.
Does not matter.
I agree. And I guarantee you, if that was some practice squad dude, not Aaron Donald, some regular defensive tackle, he's fine. He's suspended. He's probably even cut off that fucking team. But because you're Aaron Donald, you're gonna get away with that stuff, which is wrong.
So I mean,
You could
what?
kill, like, you can kill somebody by doing that,
Yeah.
especially being the big, fucking strong, freakishly athletic dude Aaron Donald is. Even if someone is wearing a helmet, like, you can seriously fuck people up with that weapon, with that helmet. It is a weapon. So
I mean, I was trying to compare it to other sports and anything, and it's just like, oh, can we allow Aaron Judge to just beat somebody up with a bat because he got hit during BP, and be like, oh, it wasn't during a game, it was during a practice. He has every right to do that. Tensions get high, man. You wouldn't know. You didn't play. What? What are we talking about? And hopefully that's not a stretch by any means, but hopefully we're in the same vicinity. Like hopefully we're not on the same. We're not on the same sides of the street, or at least we're in the same fucking neighborhood on that. In my thinking on that, I don't know. Like I said, hopefully it's exactly what they were able to do. Just like you said, Stephen A. Ryan Clark saying some just absolutely just straight up retarded fucking shit, some terrible comments, and then just like and then getting a reaction out of everybody else. And sure enough, that's exactly what's happening. But like I said, that's what I got from this story. My initial reaction to seeing Aaron Donald beat somebody up with a helmet was actually just, wow, Myles Garrett has to be very jealous right now. It should just be that. And it never in my mind was like, oh, he should lawyer up. It wasn't that ever until you brought it up, Ryan Clark, until you brought it up, Stephen A. So just keep that in mind. That's really all I had on that, to be honest. Kind of wait a little longer on that than I wanted to.
No, I agree with you. That's wrong. You can't be doing shit like that.
Yeah, like I said, there's
You're
a couple other
professional.
things.
Handle yourself accordingly.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple other things on the docket. Nothing really too important. Gardner Johnson got traded to the Eagles for a pick or two.
He's gonna fit right in with that trash bag Philly fucking fan base because he's a big mouth. He's a shit talker. He's the one who fucking got into a little spackle with Javon Wims last year, and Javon Wims smacked him, and he was just like, "What?"
Like, what? What I do?
So yeah, he's a big shit talker. He's the dude who got in Tom Brady's face last year and was saying some shit, but he's gonna fit in with the scumbag Philly fans.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of scumbags, the Bills cut their punter after the rape allegations. I know
Great fucking transition there. Love it.
There you go.
Give you a
exactly.
fucking round of applause for
I
that one.
mean,
Say thank
yeah,
you to the crowd. Nikki, that was a fucking good one.
absolutely. Bang bang. I mean, it's exactly what it is. Just read it for what it is. Taking you believe what you want to believe. As far as I'm concerned, the Bills just looked at it, saw that it was just like, oh, it's a story like this about a punter. Let's just wipe our hands fucking
Yeah.
clean, cut them, goodbye, not our fucking problem anymore. And while it is gross to think like, oh, this poor girl has this problem, and now this organization wants nothing to do with it. It's kind of just like that, kind of just where it cuts off. I mean, it sucks to think like that, but the Bills just kind of have to wipe their hands clean of this. There's nothing they can really do, and
Yeah.
other than just cut them. And it's exactly that. It's not like their top tier wide receiver or their quarterback went ahead and did this, and they have to rely on that.
I heard the Browns wanted to fucking sign him to a max deal.
Yeah, that was the immediate thing that he was immediately offered a fucking plane ride to Cleveland, probably a
Fucking
bus
$100
ride.
million contract.
Yeah,
He does got a leg. I mean, he had that fucking 82-yard
yeah,
punt in the preseason. That is ridiculous.
yeah.
But yeah, it
For,
don't
for the
matter.
diehard Bills fan, this has to be a big blow. Like, oh, no more 80-yard punts. But it's just like for the Human, you're just like, oh, good, another
Yeah, in a
another rape,
it
another
don't matter how
rapist.
good of a player you are in that locker room for a team who's trying to go all the way this year. That is the last thing you want.
Yeah,
Get
that's just
rid
a
of him as
distraction.
soon
Get
as you
him out.
fucking can. Yeah,
Cut the cancer out as soon as you can. Good
exactly.
decision. I'm with the Bills. Like I said, just that's good. While it is, like I said, sucks that you can't really help it out or help the civil suit. They'll figure it out. It's looking like they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I had something on Mark Ingram. I'll talk about it next week. It's nothing important. It's just a fun little thing about his jersey number.
All right.
Anything reactions to the top 100 list other than maybe just number one? That was based.
Yeah, I mean it was we don't got to go over the whole list, but
No.
Tom Brady comes out as number 1, and as much as people love Tom Brady, he is the GOAT of all time. I think in the NFL right now, I don't think he's number 1, and I might get some shit. As much as I hate to say it, I feel like Tom Brady should be 3, and like Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Donald should be 1 and 2.
Yeah.
You could put that however you want. You could put back-to-back MVP with Rodgers 1, or you can put Super Bowl champion Aaron Donald as 1. You
And
can't
that's
go
exactly
wrong
what it
either
should
way.
be. Isn't it supposed to be based on what happened last year?
Exactly.
Not
Like Trayvon Diggs is 20th.
yeah. I mean that
What?
is yeah. As soon as Mac Jones
He's
was ranked
20th.
over
He's
Montgomery,
higher than fucking Marlon Humphrey.
yeah, it's ridiculous. It's
Whatever.
yeah. Yeah, no, just toss it up to whoever. I mean, you
Prayer
blame
here.
the players. The players are the ones that
Fucking
vote on
Obi-Wan.
this. There you go.
Love it.
May the force be with you.
Ugh.
So I mean, yeah, that was basically it too. I mean, I as much as Tom Brady's, yeah, you can argue
I
here
just
and there that
spit
he's the
all over
GOAT.
my computer.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fuck it.
Yeah, sure enough, he is probably the GOAT. Maybe not the best season last year, but I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Couldn't get over the hump this year. That was basically it on the NFL. If you had anything else, I can just wrap this up really quickly with some wrestling.
Yeah, let's talk some fucking wrestling because we got a big pay-per-view, 2 big shows coming to the fucking Chicagoland area. AEW All Out, Rampage, Dynamite, Fan Fest, not Naperville, Hoffman Estates. Fucking
Yes.
Here we go. We're gonna be there. Degenerates live. I know you're going all fucking 4 days, so take it away. We got a lot to talk about.
Yes.
There's a lot of wrestling. I mean, coming up over the next week.
Yes, All Out is basically here. I mean, AEW is just going to be here all weekend long, all week long. Dynamite on coming up tomorrow as we're recording today. Excuse me, again, Burp Central. We're gonna go to Rampage on Friday. I'll be at the Fan Fest Saturday. Don't really know exactly what all that's gonna be besides like they do the toy display, they do all the meet and greets, they do a lot. They do the panels and stuff like that. So wrestlers get on there, do some Q&As with some people, big old group of them. So that's always fun. The shop AEW, the pro wrestling tees is there. They always sell it. Maybe sometimes exclusive merch, sometimes just new merch and stuff that you just want to get right away. So that's always going to be fun. Then they do the live podcast outside. They'll be doing that on Sunday. Then All Out on Sunday. That's going to be the big one. I wish I had a preview of matches, but there's basically nothing on the board other than the trios tag team final, which is going to be most likely the Young Bucks and Kenny.
How about that, dude? Come on.
Yeah. most likely going to be Young Bucks and Kenny versus probably the Dark Order, like we've been mentioned too.
Unbelievable.
Did you catch
Fucking
Rampage? I
I
know
did,
they.
yeah. Black Dark Order got fucked over by Miro.
Oh, okay. So that's they're gonna run
Yeah.
with that. So probably Malachi Black versus Miro then. So who was the third partner in the Dark Order?
Dark Order was Johnny Hungy, fucking 10, and
And
the guy with the long hair. I don't know his
Reynolds,
name.
Alex
Yeah,
Reynolds.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So you know what they could run with that and just say that they're gonna be the underdogs in that situation, and maybe Hangman Page comes out and does something to
That's what I was
determine.
thinking. Maybe like one of the three gets injured or he can't make it and Hangman fills in for him or
Yep.
something like
That's
that. That'd be
exactly what it
sick.
could be. Yeah. So something along the lines of that. They already scratched Eddie Kingston versus Sammy Guevara. Eddie Kingston was actually secretly suspended. It wasn't really brought to light till after the fact.
Yeah, fucking got
Uh,
into a fight.
yeah, it's because Sammy called him fat and he didn't like it. Poor guy.
Oh, that's hilarious. I've heard
Yeah.
Sammy's a dickhead though.
Yeah, I've heard he's not well liked with a lot of people, not just Eddie. So it's kind of a reoccurring theme here with Sammy. I mean, makes sense. You propose to your little homely girlfriend, you find out maybe 3 weeks later they're no longer together, and then boom, you're dating Ty Conti.
Boom.
Now you're married to her.
John Madden. Boom.
Boom.
That's
Uh
all I hear now. Whenever you load up the Madden game and it's the main menu and you hit start to go into the actual game, whenever you hit start, boom, and he just
oh,
screams
that's
it.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's a
So
lot
it's
of
gonna
fun.
be indented in my brain for the
Still
next
not gonna
9
buy that
months.
shitty fucking game, but
Hold
I
on.
like that.
Boom.
Boom. Yeah. So I mean, ultimately, what might be the highlight of the entire week might be Dynamite on Wednesday with the Aussie Open and Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks.
Yeah, that's gonna be must watch,
They
dude.
cut a promo after the things went dark, but
I don't
they
even
put it
know if
up on
that
the
was a
YouTube
promo.
page.
I think they were just straight going after each
Yeah,
other.
they could have been just shoot
Like,
pro. Yeah, it could have just been a
yeah.
shoot. They posted exclusively on their YouTube page or whatever, so you can take a double
Yeah.
gander of what was said and whatnot. But Kenny Omega basically just calling out everything that Osprey was doing, basically saying like, "Oh, you're a good, paraphrasing, but you're a good wish version of me. You're getting all the high ratings, you're getting all this, but you can't get over just shit like that." So it's gonna be so much fun seeing not only just seeing it in person, just seeing it, being able to see it in general for the wrestling fan. These guys have been talking shit online. Maybe we see the kick out of the Falcon Arrow. Maybe that's how that's how Kenny Omega is able to put him away. Either way, it's going to be pretty exciting. No matter what the result is from that match, that's going to be to have either of those trios in the finals, and probably those whoever wins this match is going to end up winning the thing. I feel like
Yeah, I think so too.
it should, but then if the Dark Order, like we just made mention to, has their whole little thing, Hangman comes in, that could also happen too. That's I don't know. I don't know. The only other thing obviously is like what the fuck are they gonna do with CM Punk? Because Punk got
Yeah.
squashed on the last Dynamite. It was obviously the big some are saying just a rating spike just to get him in there. But it was a 3 minute match where they wanted to sell the work that Punk is still injured, or he may have re-injured his foot again. He planted his foot. The planter foot was what they was holding on as an injury, not the one
Yeah.
that he kicked with. So I think it's a work. But from reports, what I said, they literally just wanted John Moxley just wanted that interim title, the word interim off of the title. So it just
Oh, okay.
that's why they wanted to have that match. I feel, Dynamite, they have nothing set just yet. I feel like Punk can probably talk and say something. I'm thinking right now, Dynamite, Danielson, and Hager, which isn't gonna be crazy, but I love seeing Brian Danielson in person, so that's always gonna be fun. I feel like we're gonna get some sort of Billy Gunn match or something like that, or the Acclaimed. There's gonna
Yeah,
be.
we are getting the acclaimed. Yeah, it all out
Oh
acclaimed
yeah,
and
Acclaimed. Yeah,
I was
yeah.
about to say private party, swerve in our glory. Yeah,
Yes, there we go.
be a
Swerving our
fun little
glory. Yeah,
match. Yeah.
that'll be fun. That'll definitely be fun. I would love for them to put the titles on the Acclaimed. It'd be out of box and it'd be out of the box and it'd be like, oh, you're wasting Keith Lee's time and potential, but the Acclaimed is just red hot. And sometimes you
Yeah.
just got to call audibles like that. And you just like, well, you got to strike while the iron is hot. While it might not be very profitable for the long term to give them the titles right now. It could be for the short run right now. Give them a little fun. They're coming
Yeah.
out and they're most excited. They get probably one of the highest pops tag team wise besides FTR and the Young Bucks. So
Yeah, they honestly do.
yeah, I mean they're very fun and interactive. The whole everyone they're cutting out the scissors for the posters and shit. So fucking let her do it. Let's do it. Let's have that. I can't think off the top of my head any more all out stuff anymore out throughout this week.
Jade Cargill and
Jade
Athena.
Cargill and Athena. Who cares? They're having
Britt
the
Baker, the 4-way for the women's interim. Who is that? Jamie Hayter,
yeah.
Tony Storm,
Hater,
Britt
Britt
Baker,
Baker,
and the
Storm.
Asian chick.
Yeah, Karushida.
Hikaru
Yeah,
Shida, yeah.
Shida. That ought to be okay. I mean, again, it's just I love they go from one interim thing to the next interim thing. They're just calling this the interim women's title, not the
Yeah.
just the straight up the AW women's title. That was weird, really weird to read about too. I can't even decipher what's a work, what's actual news, and what's just bullshit at this point, because they're saying that Thunder Rosa was reportedly hiding in the bathroom after she like hurt Jamie Hayter after a
Yeah, she
match.
like broke her
So
nose or something in
yeah,
the middle of a match. Yeah.
on some fucking schoolyard bully shit, she hid in the fucking bathroom waiting to make sure
Yeah, I
that
heard
Hayter was
about
pissed
that. I
off.
heard she got a
So
back injury. Heard a bunch of different things. So
exactly, I've heard
who
just
knows what it is? Heard she's just
conflicting
a terrible
reports.
champion.
Yeah, also that too. So
Like
I don't
I
know.
like Thunder Rosa, but yeah, it's very
I did
uneventful
too. I really did too.
championship reign so far.
I mean, yeah, when her winning, it might have been what we always talk about. It's the chase is always the most exciting for some of these competitors like that. And when they finally get the
Yeah, it
title,
was. And I
they
mean
just
that
shit the bed.
fucking that cage match with Britt Baker slammed her on the fucking thumbtacks. That was an iconic. That was a fucking amazing match. That was a great moment. But
Yeah,
yeah, ever since
without a
then
doubt.
it's been like downhill.
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing that we can say very positively, Samoa Joe will be returning, and I hope he returns sometime this week. It'd be really cool to see him in some sort of fashion. We reported on this a while ago. He's going to be part of that Twisted Metal cartoon show, the
Yeah.
PlayStation video game. But now it's gonna be, like I said, going to be relaunched as a cartoon or whatever. He was doing one of the voices. Now that wrapped up on production. So no, any rumors of him being hurt or him just like not being happy or whatever, toss that to the side. He's just done wrapping up with this, so that's gonna be good to see him back on TV.
Oh
Maybe any
yeah.
thoughts on that?
Yeah, love Samoa Joe.
Yeah,
Obviously,
absolutely.
I've heard, never really watched a lot of him, but I always knew who he was. I knew he was a fan favorite, and he's been around. He's been in fucking. He's had success in damn near every company he's ever had, and
Mm.
um, we don't know if he's gonna have a match yet at All Out, right?
No, nothing
No,
planned just yet. I know.
hoping
I
he
mean,
does.
obviously Claudio has the Ring of Honor title. He's got the TV title, which ironically they don't have a TV deal just yet, so that's kind of fun to think about. But
Yeah,
yeah,
what?
just it'd be fun to see him again, just in some sort of capacity. I would love to maybe get a surprise return on Dynamite or a surprise reaction on Rampage, some sort of boost in that rating because the Rampage show is usually pretty lackadaisical. So hopefully they can get something like that to, like I said, maybe not boost ratings, but just get a pop like, oh, did you catch Rampage? Something cool actually happened, like Samoa
Yeah, I
Joe
agree.
returned.
They need to start up and Rampage a little more.
Yeah,
Too many just
I would,
fucking
yeah.
2 minute squash matches and just like trios tag shit that nobody cares about. Like the
Mm-hmm.
neo-Nazi and the fucking tranny wrestler. Like, don't even Sunny Kiss.
Yeah,
What is why is that on TV? Put
I
that
don't
on
know,
Dark.
I don't
Put
know.
it on Dark.
Yeah, exactly. One more thing on AEW before we wrap up that, and I have some quick WWE to get into. Uh, FTR was reportedly not in the AEW video game as of right now. In my mind, a lot of people again overreacting right away, saying this, that, and the other. If you think about it, FTR is still under contract for another year or so, and they still have another option. So calm the fuck down. They're happy while it is, probably a little bit of a headache working with the Young Bucks now and again. They're still making the best possible wrestling under Tony Khan's watch. So don't think that this is some sort of FTR is unhappy. FTR is going to be gone soon. They literally have every single fucking title. Relax. I
Yeah.
think they're happy. I think if you think about it, just take 5 minutes and think. without just completely just throwing up a reaction and talking. Uh, how do games work? How do add-ons work? How do they make money? DLCs, selling extra characters. As of right now, there's like 50 wrestlers, 55 so on the roster listed. There's going to be
No
DLC
way.
packs. There's going to be add-ons. There's going to be other stuff to this game. AEW Fight Forever already won an award and it's not even out yet. So shit like this is in the works. Don't freak out. Fucking put down your hammer. Then don't hit the break glass in case of emergency just yet on anything. Calm down. FTR's here to stay. 7-star guys or whatever, top guys. There you go.
I just got some absolutely breaking news. This might not be breaking news for some of you guys, but this is awesome. Like, this is some emotional shit right here.
Okay.
Julian Love just got named captain of the New York Giants. That's sick.
Wow. That is
That
really
is
awesome.
like, that's someone we grew up playing football with.
That is really awesome.
That
Yeah,
is
no,
awesome.
that is a huge congratulations. I mean,
Wow.
that's yeah, for if you grew up around here and you absolutely know him. I mean, that is huge congratulatory news and that getting a gonna get a
Wow.
Julian Love jersey with a nice little
That
C
is
right there.
awesome.
You
Yeah,
gonna get
that would
that?
look sick.
You might have to
That
get
is
that
so
nice little
sick,
captain
dude. Oh
patch.
my god.
That's gonna be really fun to
He just
watch.
announced it on his Instagram
That
page
is
as I
so
was scrolling
yeah.
here.
That is so
That's so
awesome.
sick. Julian Love, baby.
Yes.
Captain of the New York Giants. That's sick.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, definitely some very, very awesome
Wow.
news.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I hate to transition it back so bluntly back to
No, go
wrestling after
ahead.
that,
We
but
gotta
just
fucking wrap this
yeah,
up
we're
with
just
some
wrapping this up
wrestling.
really quick. I know you got a couple more minutes before you got to go and bounce, but yeah. Let me see. Yeah, really quickly. Triple H gonna be trying to bring back Jonah. He's over on the indie circuit. He was formerly known as Brunson Reed. Uh, like I said, that would be pretty good news. Pretty good to see him back there. WWE also staying PG for this foreseeable future. So all that rumor, all that ruckus of they're going back to TV 14 or whatever. We're gonna see blood. We're gonna see this. We're gonna see that. Swearing. Nope. You're getting PG. I mean, it is what it is. You're probably gonna still get quality wrestling still with Triple H taking the helm, and basically all the NXT guys are on the main roster now. But that's cool. But it's still gonna be PG though. It is what it is. Final thing, if you caught over the weekend, they always do the rivalries on A&E, and then they do a little documentary about the person. Rey Mysterio was highlighted this week. They did the rivalries between him and Eddie, which I don't really consider them a rivalry. Maybe I just saw them as a tag team too often, but uh, that was fun to watch. But actually, in the hour-long A&E part, which is the Bio Legends one, I just thought it was interesting that they actually talked about Rey Mysterio killing a guy. So, very unfortunate situation, obviously, if you go ahead and read about it or report about it, but it made it very human. I just thought that was just like, whoa, WWE's actually talking about this. They're willing to do this and they're willing to fucking put their faces up on it. I was just like, wow, that's very out of left field for WWE to actually be a part of like one of those things where wow, some details or maybe some new interesting things are actually revealed. So
Yeah.
I just thought that was interesting. Yeah, I
I
feel
don't
like
even know what to say. I'm still all fucking shook up with this Julian Love
that's
news.
no,
This is
that's awesome.
awesome,
No,
dude.
that's
This is
absolutely
so
awesome.
sick. Like, we've talked about him before. Like, I I grew up playing football with this dude Pee Wee, and now this dude is in the NFL and he's a captain of okay, well, Giants, maybe not the best team out there, but that's a respectable historic football franchise, and he's a captain of the fucking Giants now. That's just I'm
Yeah.
blown away right
No,
now.
that is
Holy
absolutely
shit.
sick. That is absolutely sick to see. You know what? I feel like that should be probably what we end on. I feel like that's one of the really awesome things. I have nothing else. No other news, no other news notes, no nothing on nothing else. Went over the MLB and all the NBA, all the fun stuff. We're gonna do AFC South next week, but yeah, I think that's a good thing. Let's end
Yeah.
up on your boy Julian Love being the team captain of the just being of the Giants, captain of the Giants, baby. Fuck yeah, that's awesome to
That
hear.
is,
That's
dude.
so
That is
awesome.
so awesome.
So yes, that was a very eventful episode 119. Got a lot in, got a lot of drafts, got a lot of fantasy stuff in. So hopefully, like I said, you got another one coming up. Hopefully, good luck to anybody that still hasn't drafted. Thank you for listening. Thank you for
Oh yeah.
tuning in. Thanks for watching in. Watching in. Thanks for watching on the YouTube. Thank you, Troy. I'm gonna do some adding on afterwards. So if you want to listen to Troy's update, please listen to the audio
There we
version.
go.
Without further ado, yeah, take care. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Fucking go Bears. Go fantasy football. Go everything.
Hell
Woo.
yeah. See you guys later.
Hell yeah. Fucking go Julian Love, dude. Woo.